This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Is it time to reimagine your future? The right business skills may make a difference in your career. At Capella University, we offer a relevant education that's designed to focus on what you need to know in the business world. We'll teach professional skills to help you pursue your goals, like business management, strategic planning, and effective communication. And you can apply these skills right away. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
77 WABC. This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
No, I get by with a little help from my friends.
One of Mayor Eric Adams' closest and longest-serving aides indicted.
Ingrid Lewis-Martin is facing bribery charges. Prosecutors say they stem from a quid pro quo arrangement involving her son and two real estate investors.
Fox 5's Morgan Mackay joins us live with the details on this breaking story. A busy day, Morgan.
Steve, Natasha, Mayor Eric Adams' longest-serving advisor, Ingrid Lewis-Martin, was charged with conspiracy, bribe receiving, and money laundering. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said this indictment could be summed up in, quote, just three words: quid pro quo. Her son, Glenn Martin II, was also facing the same charges, and also indicted alongside the two were two real estate investors who are facing conspiracy and bribery charges. Ingrid Lewis-Martin led inside the courtroom in handcuffs. She turned herself into the Manhattan District Attorney's office and was arraigned at 2:30, where she and the three others all pled not guilty. Now, prosecutors allege that Lewis-Martin used her position as one of the closest advisors to Mayor Adams to ask the Department of Buildings Commissioner to expedite construction permits and applications of buildings owned by Rosada Vaid and Mayank Dovidi, the two real estate investors that were charged. In return, Vaid and Dovidi paid Lewis-Martin's son $100,000. Prosecutors allege that he then laundered this money through his DJ business and then used that money to buy a Porsche. Prosecutors also allege that the two men invested in other of Lewis-Martin's son's business ventures, including a clothing line and a Chick-fil-A franchise, in exchange for Lewis-Martin's help with the Department of Buildings. DA Alvin Bragg says she did so without consideration of safety standards, and she tried to hide her actions by using an encrypted messaging app called Signal. He added that these charges are in no way connected to Mayor Eric Adams, but Lewis-Martin's attorney, Arthur Idala, disagreed.
We allege that Ingrid Lewis-Martin engaged in a long-running bribery, money laundering, and conspiracy scheme by using her position and authority as the chief advisor to the New York City mayor, the second highest position in city government, to illegally influence city decisions in exchange for in excess of $100,000 in cash and other benefits for herself and her son, Glenn Martin II.
This is a political case. This is a witch hunt type of a case. I don't know if they're trying to get Eric Adams. Ingrid Lewis-Martin has nothing bad to say about Eric Adams. So if they think this is a way to get to him, they are absolutely wrong. But the facts of this case make no sense to New Yorkers.
Who's killer of a healthcare CEO now spending his first night in a federal jail in New York City. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, extradited from Pennsylvania to Manhattan under extraordinary security measures. We're learning more from prosecutors about what they found in Mangione's writings before the murder. With that and much more, here's Eyewitness News reporter Josh Heiniger.
The Wall Street heliport has welcomed countless dignitaries in its day, presidents and popes, titans of industry, and an accused cold-blooded killer. Luigi Mangione stepped onto terra firma in lower Manhattan, a few miles away from the crime that reverberated around the world. And waiting for him, the mayor, to see for himself the manhunt is over.
Some of these detectives will finally sleep tonight.
after this person has been brought to justice here in New York City.
No sooner did New York cops march him off the chopper pad, they turned him right over to federal agents. And in court, his orange jumpsuit traded for khakis and a sweater. He heard the federal charges against him, stalking and murder, which comes with a possible death sentence. The criminal complaint offering new information from a diary of sorts Mangione had been carrying during his arrest in Pennsylvania. The notebook describes an intent to whack the CEO of an insurance company at its investor conference. An August 15th entry reads, "The details are finally coming together. The target is insurance. It checks every box." On October 22nd, 1.5 months, he wrote, "The investor conference is a true windfall." That conference on the 4th of December, when police say Mangione stalked and executed UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson as he walked to his company's conference at the New York Hilton. Mangione, a 26-year-old Ivy League grad, has become a Robin Hood of sorts for some who are critical of the health insurance industry, who showed up outside 500 Pearl in solidarity with an accused killer.
We're going to respectfully decline to make any comment at this time, but Mr. Mangione appreciates everyone's support. Thank you.
He's a murderer.
Friends have suggested Mangione suffered from severe back pain, but in writing at least, prosecutors have yet to explain what triggered this level of hatred, what prompted this plot to kill. If convicted on this federal murder charge, Luigi Mangione could find himself on death row.
A group of hardline Republicans revolt and vote to reject a Donald Trump and Elon Musk-backed spending bill to avert a government shutdown. And with the deadline for a deal now just hours away, many are wondering if anything can be done to keep the government running. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo joining us now with what could happen next. Tim.
Mark, desperate times call for desperate measures. At least one Republican says he wants President-elect Trump to come to Washington to help negotiate. So listen, Plan A was shut down by President Trump earlier this week. Plan B didn't have the support of any Democrats and dozens of Republicans, and there never was a Plan C in the works. But now there has to be, and it's got to get done in less than 24 hours.
It's not exactly a vote of confidence from the House Speaker when asked if they'll avoid a government shutdown.
We'll see.
Speaker Mike Johnson left the Capitol without consensus and without a clear plan to pass a spending proposal Friday after the House rejected a Trump-backed bill, both parties blaming each other.
Extreme MAGA Republicans are driving us to a government shutdown.
The Democrats decided they want to try to shut it down, but we're going to keep working.
All but two Democrats voted against this 11th hour proposal, but the loudest opposition to the latest Republican plan, which would have suspended the debt ceiling for 2 years, came from within its own party. 38 Republicans also voting no.
I'm absolutely sickened by a party that campaigns on fiscal responsibility and has the temerity to go forward to the American people and say, you think this is fiscally responsible. It is absolutely ridiculous.
But as Congress faces this looming deadline, the harsh reality of a likely government shutdown is setting in.
They are not giving up. There are reports that Representative Chip Roy, that Republican you heard, who called the latest proposal shameful and embarrassing, he's scheduled to meet with Speaker Johnson and J.D. Vance around 8 a.m. bright and early about those 38 no votes by Republicans. Roy, who is the policy chair of the Freedom Caucus, may be hoping to find some conservative compromise that could get all Republicans on the same page just under deadline, which is now less than 24 hours away.
Look, I say this all the time. There was a big change in my on-air persona after October the 7th.
77 WABC.
I don't usually work on Sunday mornings, but I come to you this morning with a profound sense of sadness.
Sid's relationship with the One Israel Fund began, even though he didn't realize it, on October 7th.
We value life, Israelis, Americans. These animals don't care. All the things that nobody wanted to talk about, I talked about. And Judah heard all this.
And just a few weeks later, Sid said to me, Judah, do you know that I've never been to Israel?
He texted me one day. He goes, you got to come here. I said, Judah, it's expensive. I got a whole family. He said, what if we figured out a way to get somebody to sponsor the trip? I said, well, that would be unbelievable. All I can say is, wow. I don't think there's any replacement for being there.
It should be required.
Right.
You have to see it. You have to feel it. I really appreciated the connection of the people to the land and the sense of pride and nationalism and community. It really gave me a lot of hope.
It's important that folks know more about the history of Israel. And when you talk about the history of Israel, it begins and ends with Judea and Samaria. You see it firsthand. That's where it all is. We know the enemy wants Jerusalem. They don't have it. They've got a foothold on this area, which is the most biblical, the most history, and it doesn't make any sense. So if somebody's not out there every day fighting for Judea and Samaria, then what? One Israel Fund does that. To me, the most important organization for Israel and the best in the world today. So it's been a great 3 days. Scott Feldman, One Israel Fund, I can't thank you enough. This is what they call the car graveyard here down by Gaza. All these cars have people inside of them. God rest all their souls. Am Yisrael Chaim. We're in a fight for survival. Thank God President Trump won. Now we got to save Israel. And I'm telling you, until you go there and really see it, you'll never be the proud, passionate Jew you think you are today. Let's put the cards right on the table. Way too high a percentage of American Jews don't think Israel represents them. You get just as many people in Times Square as you do in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv. How is that possible?
His passion used to be football, baseball, some other things. To see him have this connection and this drive, it makes me happy because honestly, this business that he's in, it can be very shallow. What he's doing is meaningful. It's priceless. It's more important. It's life, like literally.
My father, who was my second best friend, he died about 4 years ago. I think he instilled the importance of, doesn't matter how tough you're on the outside, real men are tougher on the inside. If you can't find your heart in Israel, good luck finding your heart anyplace else.
Today, didn't want to hear, but I knew that it would come. An old true friend of ours was talking on the phone. She said you found someone. And I thought of all the bad luck and the struggles we went through and how I lost you and you lost you. What are these voices outside love's open door? Make us throw up our contentment and beg for something more. But I'm learning to live without you now. But I miss you sometimes. The more I know, the less I understand all the things I thought I knew. I'm learning again. I've been trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak. And my thoughts seem to scatter, but I think it's a cry. Forgiveness, forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore.
Don Henley, heart of the matter, and the very end of that really beautiful video which they showed at last night's amazing One Israel Fund dinner before giving me and Danielle this gorgeous award, a glass menorah weighed about 50 pounds. I end the video with, if you can't find your heart in Israel, good luck finding it anyplace else. And of course, there you have it, heart of the matter. Good morning, New York, 6:16 on this Friday, December the 20th. This will be the last show for Sid and Friends in the morning, at least this crew. Somebody will be here every day for the next 2 weeks or so, but I won't. So this will be the last show for the regular crew. I don't think Lou will be back until I get back, which will be January 2nd. Right, Lou, you're out
correct.
With me?
That's
okay.
Correct.
I think Justin is back for 1 day. Somehow they got Justin to work Christmas Day. It doesn't matter. He's Jewish anyway, but he's back for 1 day. And I don't know about you, Noam. Something tells me you'll be working quite a bit over the next 2 weeks.
No, actually, just Justin and I on Christmas, and that's it. Otherwise, I'm off the rest
Oh, that's
of the time.
it. Good.
Yep.
Okay, so no Sid, no Lou, and you only get Justin and Noam for one day. I don't know what Joe Nolan's schedule is. We'll find out today. And Curtis, because as I always say, Sid and Friends in the Morning is really a 6-man show. 6 of us. Curtis will be working, I'm sure, every day when I'm not here. He hosts these shows. And Joe, I don't know. But at any rate, I do want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a healthy and happy New Year. This was quite a year for Sid and Friends in the Morning, 2024. You know, as I sat there last night, I realized I keep thinking I was in Israel in 2000. The show was in 2023 and 2024 because those atrocities happened on October 7th, 2023. But the truth is, we were not there that year. First time I went to Israel was with this show, and it was late January, early February of 2024. And then, of course, we returned to commemorate the 1 year for October 7th, 2024. So this year, which will end in about 11 days, both of our trips to Israel took place this year. How about that, Noam?
Yeah. Well, one was early in the year, obviously. So.
Very early.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I kept thinking, we were there in 2023, wrong, twice in 2024. But so much happened on this show over the last year. Let's not forget, I was physically removed, detained, and nearly arrested at the State of the Union. That was 2024. What month was that, do you know?
I think it was February.
February or March, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was February because March is when I went down to Mar-a-Lago. I actually spent the day at Rudy Giuliani's condominium. Seems like 30 years ago, but that's what I did. I remember it was a beautiful day, and Andrew Giuliani had his beautiful little daughter Grace in the pool, and I ended up starting Rudy's show that day. He was on at 3 p.m. back then. And we started the show together from his condo, all leading up to this big night at Mar-a-Lago. I had gotten to Rudy's condominium after having this amazing lunch with President Trump after he finished a round of golf. You remember that, no?
Yeah. That seems like 5 years ago, too.
Right.
Yeah.
It was 2024.
Wow.
And then that night, they showed The Relentless Patriot, the movie about Scott LoBaido, who joined me today. And that's when President Trump came in. They stopped the movie. The movie was like an hour in. They stopped the movie. They go, we've got a special guest. And Trump walks up to the stage, takes the mic. You remember this, Lou? And he points to me and he goes, that's Sid Rosenberg. He's the best-looking radio host in America.
You're going to get me New York right there. Sid, we're going to do it, right? Are we doing it? We're doing it. There he is right over there, everybody.
That's right. And all those great interviews with Trump, I believe of the 5 times he was on, leading up to his big win in November, 4 of those, at least 3 of those, were in 2024, the last one being October 7th. We did the show live from Sderot, a little town just outside of Gaza, to commemorate 1 year. President Trump called in. He was on for 28 minutes. There's so much other stuff. I don't even remember everything, but this show the last year has reached new heights, and you can ask a lot of guys this, guys that worked here, guys like Sean Hannity. He'll be the first to tell you. What the show has done the last year at this station is unprecedented. Now, there's no disrespect to Imus or even Bernard, God rest his soul, or others that owned the morning show here and other slots. But you've got a pretty rich appreciation for history, Noam, in radio. Don't forget, I was gone for 16 years, 11 years down in South Florida, but you're not going to find a show in the history of this station who had the year that Sid and Friends in the Morning had in 2024.
It is really true, and to go to that great event last night that we were all at, that community 2 years ago did not know who you were.
No.
And last night, the place went crazy when your video went up. I mean, it was really unbelievable. And to watch you walk around and just get grabbed by random people who, of course, you didn't know. Some of them you did, but most of them you didn't know. I mean, there was hundreds of people there last night.
Almost 1,000.
You realize how the show just has exploded. I mean, it was unbelievable. You know, I had people coming up to me, asking me all kinds of questions. I mean, it was really, I haven't had that in years, you know, and so it just, yeah, it is huge.
I'm glad you experienced that. You and your son is lovely. What a great kid. Gabriel, both of our sons, both named Gabriel, were there last night. So I'm happy you got to enjoy it and see that. And, you know, look, 3 nights ago, I'm in Suffolk County, also about 1,000 people. These are not Jews. It's not a night about Israel. It was for the Suffolk County PVA, and it was the same thing. You know, really at this point, wherever I go in representing this show, which again is about 6 of us, pretty much the same reception. These people get up in the morning. A lot say to me, Sid, I don't need to get up at 6. I don't. My day could start at 8, 9. I get up early just to make sure we don't miss any of your show. And I'm always humbled and honored to hear that. So last night, as Noam points out, the One Israel Fund, led by Scott Feltman, Yehuda Honickmen, great people, Eve Harrow, Mark Provisor, the group that sent us to Israel those 2 times, and is working on a 3rd trip coming up for Independence Day in Israel in April. They had this just monster event. We were all there, me, Danielle, Ava, Max, and Gabe, Justin at our table, Jen DeLandro. You know Jenny, Botox Queen. She was at our table. Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas. His daughter, Sarah, is now the governor of Arkansas. Huckabee has been nominated by President Trump to be the next ambassador to Israel after the great job that David Friedman does. How about that speech last night, Noam, when he talked about this little girl going to Israel, and he told this whole story about this little girl, and the little girl turned out to be his daughter.
Yeah. He gave a great speech. I was lucky enough to have a nice little conversation with him before he went up there. Boy, is he a great guy.
He really
is.
Super guy. And his speech was the speech of the night. Thomas Kniff, the great attorney for Daniel Penny, who's become a dear friend of mine. He was at our table last night. Michael Rappaport, the great actor, comedian. He hosted the evening. Nate Buzz was there. He was at our table. Curtis Sliwa. How about the great Curtis Sliwa showing up last night?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Keep him away from... well, maybe just too early to be dissing him, but oh my God, that guy can shovel food. Like, I was watching him.
No, I saw it too.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
He was in front of the sushi table. I actually felt bad for other people because they could not get around him. He planted himself there.
Yeah.
And of course everybody recognizes him, so they don't want to push him out of the way.
No.
But if they didn't recognize him, they would have pushed him out of the way. It was piece after piece after piece. The woman behind the counter was looking at him like, okay, move on.
But the people love him too. They do. He gets a very nice, warm reception. And I'm going to leave people out today, and I apologize, but everybody from Abe and Rachel Hamra to Joey Borgen, what a great job, too, last night. And I was kind of critical of her for a couple of days about her time with Eric Adams. But Lizzie Savetsky was great last night. Lizzie and her handsome husband, Dr. Ira Savetsky. You had Jen Fessler from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Siggy Flicker's sister. Never met her before, Iris. She was there. Gene Stevens, Teddy Raskin, Hadassa Goldberg. She was an honoree last night. She'll join us later on this morning. Elodie Weiss and her friend Alina. You had, as I mentioned, Norman Gabe Layden, Rachel Moon. You had Ellie Zilli. I mean, just a huge, and I know I'm leaving people out, but just a huge audience of amazing people. It really was a wonderful night and the perfect way to kind of end what has been an amazing year. But listen, 2025 is going to start off for this show very exciting because we're going to be live at the inauguration. And I found out, as I told you a couple of days ago on this show, from our friend Liz Pipko, that Danielle and I will be at the inaugural ball, the big one, you know, where Trump dances Melania, the whole thing. So we got a lot of exciting stuff. Maybe the Super Bowl in February in New Orleans. We're working on that. A lot of exciting stuff coming your way in 2025. But you're going to have to wait because after today, that's it until January 2nd. So make sure you spend the next 3 hours and 34 minutes right here, Sid and Friends in the morning, as we wrap up 2024.
We all need a little tenderness. How can love survive in such a graceless age? The trust and self-assurance that lead to happiness, they're the very things we kill, I guess. Pride and competition cannot fill these empty arms, and the work I put between us, you know it doesn't keep me warm. I'm learning to live without you now, but I miss you, baby. And the more I know, the less I understand all the things I thought I'd figured out. I have to learn again. I've been trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but everything changes, and my friends seem to scatter, but I think it's about forgiveness, forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning. Entertaining and informative.
Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
On your Friday morning, the very last show of the year for Sid and Friends in the morning. We'll be back on January the 2nd of 2025. I want to get a bunch of people in today that obviously play a big role in our show throughout the weeks, throughout the months, and throughout the year. Already receiving very nice messages. Kono Corvino, I love Kono. John Cirillo, former New York Jets superstar Mark Gastineau. Thank you, guys. But one of those guests that I have to bring on because my audience loves her, not as much as I do, but they love her, is my mom. So with that said, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Mommy. Nice to have you. Naomi, how are you?
I'm good, Sidney Ferris. How are you today?
Tired. We got home about midnight last night from this huge gala, me, Danielle, Ava, Max, and Gabe, but I'm in a great mood. This is the last show, Mom. We've had an amazing year here. As you know, you listen every day, whether you're in upstate New York or Aventura. So a little tired, but very, very happy.
All right. Well, this is a good thing, but you have what to look forward to now. You're going to go and see the big man down here, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going to go down Christmas Eve, and my plan is to see President Trump the night of the 28th, and Danielle and I will go to the inauguration. We got tickets to the ball, Mom, so it's all very, very exciting.
Very, very exciting. Very exciting. And what else is going on? I mean, that's enough for 1 year, isn't it?
It's plenty, but I just want you to come on because I know how much you value your listeners, as you call them, Mom, and wish all the folks out there that show you so much love and respect, the happy holidays and all that good stuff.
Well, I do, and I want to thank everybody for everything that they've done to get our man our man, our big guy back in the White House. I cannot believe how much they've come to the surface to really vote for our boy, for our man, for him to put him sitting back in the Oval Office. We can't ask for anything more. Nothing more. I am so thrilled. I am so happy. I worked so hard. I really did. I called people that I could, and I did whatever I could, spoke to people that I knew, and it's been a wonderful ride. And thank God that the results are good, because this is the most important thing now, starting the new year.
Ma, I do want you to try to explain to people in the final 60 seconds. I've talked about the Christmas Eve party that you and Daddy used to throw every year and how monstrous it was. I did a whole segment on it a couple of days ago. We don't have time for that now, but if you can break it down relatively quickly, what was it like Christmas and Hanukkah in the Rosenberg house?
Well, I have to be honest, Sidney. The Christmas was very important to all of us. You know that. I worked very hard. I cooked a lot. We decorated like crazy. It was a wonderful festive time for all of us. And, of course, we had Uncle Gloria next door, like you did mention when I heard you mention, with the reindeer going from house to house. It was a wonderful time. 100 people came. They ate, they drank, they partied. It was a wonderful time. Hanukkah time was really by Ann and Maya, because, they were the ones that made that. We didn't do...
No. You have to understand, Mom, that the audience has no idea who Ann and Maya are. That's my father's parents.
Your
right.
father's parents. They would make like a little dinner or something where I worked my tail off because nobody else did anything. We would go there, and I would work, clean and make and do in their house, just so that to make your dad happy, rest his soul. But as far as in our house, I did make certain things. I make, little latkes, little potato pancakes, but we did light the candles. I did decorate the windows. So people were confused because they saw the menorah and they see this 10-foot Christmas tree. And people were a little confused, but because in those days it wasn't as prevalent today with intermarriage and people doing those things. But I did it, and all you kids loved it, and to this day you kids remember it and talk about it. But more importantly, it's more important that right now we're going to start this new year, Sidney Ferris, with this man in the White House. That's more we could ask for. I prayed so hard, and there he's going to be, right in that Oval Office. We couldn't ask for more. It will turn things around like people, and it's all because of your fans, Sidney. All the people who listen into your show, I can't thank them enough because they did, and you worked very hard to bring as many Jews in New York that could possibly be. That was a very important factor, and it was because of you. No matter what people think, you did bring some of these Jews in, and that was important.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Well, listen, I love you, and I'm going to see you in Florida next week. We'll go to Moe's Bagels in Aventura, like a lot of good Jews do, and we'll have a nice breakfast. We'll see a bunch over the next week, so enjoy the next couple of days, Mom, and the whole family will see you in a couple of days in Florida. How does that sound?
It sounds wonderful, Sidney Ferris. And again, I thank all of you all listening. Listen, people, don't give up. Just because we have our man back in the White House next week when Sidney Ferris comes back to work, make sure that you're there listening to everything that's going to possibly change things. You have to get me on again as things change because I'm so excited.
All right, Ma, you got it.
I love all my fans.
Yes.
I love all you guys and girls, women and men. Please don't forget, listen when Sidney Ferris gets back on the show. A happy and a healthy Hanukkah, a happy and a healthy Merry Christmas to everybody, everyone who listens. I bless them all from the bottom of my heart. And Sidney, you and Ava and the children have a safe flight, and I'll see you in your here in sunny Florida.
All right, Mom. I love you, too. All right.
I love you,
Love you, too. All right. There she is, my mom, Naomi Rosenberg, live in Aventura, Florida this morning, getting ready for my family to join her with some holiday wishes for all you great people that listen every day. We'll take a short break. One of the stars from last night, he's one of the real brains behind the One Israel Fund. You hear him on this show all the time. It all started over 2 years ago. But he's now calling from Jerusalem, or I should say Judea and Samaria this morning. Instead, he's right here in studio. My friend Yehuda Honickmen. He's coming up next.
Is Sid and Friends in the morning. 77 WABC.
Why you in so much hurry? Is it really worth the worry? Look around, then slow down. What's it like inside the bubble? Does your head ever give you trouble? It's no sin. Trade it in. Hang on. Help is on its way.
6:50 on your Friday morning, your Shabbos morning here on Sid and Friends in the morning. I'm going to say this, I guess, at the top of just about every segment. This is it for us. I will leave these studios sometime late this morning and will not be back in this building until January 2nd of 2025. Lou the same, for the most part. Noam and Justin the same. So we're thrilled to be with you this morning, even though most of us, me, Noam, and Justin, got about 2 hours sleep. I know I got home, it was midnight. I got up today at 3:08, and I didn't fall asleep, by the way. How long did you sleep, Noam?
Probably about the same, maybe 2 hours.
Like 2 hours,
yeah.
Right?
But I feel okay, actually.
No, you're on drugs.
Yeah.
No, you do. You look great. You sound great.
Don't I, though? I look fantastic.
You look amazing, yeah. So, Yehuda Honickmen is in studio. This is, you guys listen enough to know that he's one of my best friends. And all these trips to Israel, it all started with Yehuda. Yehuda came up with the idea, let's get these trips sponsored. Yehuda reached out to Scott Feldman and One Israel Fund. He got it all done, all Yehuda. And both times I went to Israel, he's been a tremendous host, and he's been on this radio program a ton since October 9th, 2023. But it just occurred to me, because initially it didn't, this is the first time ever you've been in these studios.
That's correct.
So does it seem like you thought it was going to be, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely bigger. The hallways, everything like that. You know, I've only been in studio with you in JNS and in Israel. That's it.
Did you go to Ariel University with me?
I was with you there.
That
as
was
well.
actually a gorgeous radio
Beautiful
studio
studio
for a college.
Beautiful.
There was
studio.
a bigger studio than this.
I think they're teaching the students what to hope for.
Yeah, I think so too. That was a big day because you had me in studio, Michael Rappaport in studio. Gabi Harrow is the guy that runs that place.
Correct.
Yeah. So we did the Ariel University thing. We did the JNS thing. I forgot. Stay Road through a radio station.
That was
a
a
small station.
No, that was crazy. Running bomb shelters.
Yeah. I was talking about, what was her name? Gitit or something? Gitit, yes. Proceed. We're going to die. Seed. I'm like, oh my God, calm down. So we've done a lot of different media spots in Israel, but this is your first visit to a big-time radio station in America.
That's correct.
All right. You're taking pictures and video and all that?
Of course.
You just spoke to the great rabbi in Efrat, Shlomo Katz.
The best.
He is the best. Well, I did my Yom Kippur holiday this year with Yehuda and a bunch of his friends and his beautiful family. Your wife is lovely, and your kids are fantastic. And I met Shlomo, Mr. Katz, and went to services 2 days before he broke the fast with Bibi Netanyahu. And he's an amazing guy, Shlomo. Amazing.
He is. He's an amazing, amazing rabbi. He's my brother-in-law as well. So we're very, very close.
Oh, that's right. He's your brother-in-law.
Yes.
Is that cool or?
It's great.
So he's married to your sister.
My wife and his wife are sisters.
Oh, that's what it is, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. He's a very talented singer, too.
Extremely talented singer and an extremely talented rabbi. Very, very connected, very down to earth.
Yeah, you know, when I go to shul in the past, I used to hate the sermons. Put me to sleep. And now, forget about it. Now some of these rabbis in New York that hate Trump, I couldn't imagine sitting through that. But you saw that I was tired and sitting there kind of half awake, half asleep. And as soon as he started to speak, I actually walked closer to the front of the shul just to hear him.
Yeah, Rabbi Katz said he thought you were walking to the front to take the podium with him.
I was about to speak. Well, you know, last night I said to Scott Feltman, I said, after you give me and Danielle the award, do you expect me to speak? He goes, no. The honorees don't really speak. They just get Mike Huckabee spoke. He was a keynote speaker. Feltman spoke a lot. Rappaport spoke, but he wasn't expecting the honorees to speak. And I'm like, you can't expect me to be on stage and not say something. And I think you'd agree. I tore the upping house down.
It was beautiful.
Wasn't it great?
Beautiful.
All you got to do is mention President Trump.
Donald
and
J.
the
Trump.
Women, it's like Tom Jones. They throw their underwear and panties at the stage.
I mean, you said, if you voted for Donald Trump, please stand up. And if you didn't, no offense, please leave now.
Right. Yeah, fired. Go home. And they loved it. The people went nuts.
They loved it. They loved it.
They did love it. But the whole night was amazing. Now, I don't even know, as close as you and I are, and almost 2 years into this war and 2 trips to Israel with a third on its way, what your position is with One Israel Fund. Are you an actual employee?
No, I'm not an employee of One Israel Funds. I'm a believer of their work. I'm a believer of what they do, as are you. Like you said in the video, like you played this morning, they're one of the most, if not the most important organizations for Israel, for Judea and Samaria. I'm just very, I love what they do. So I volunteer to help where I can. And, post October 7th, when I took to social media and started making all the videos that I made, and I made all these relationships, Rappaport and Nate, and obviously our relationship, Sid, to be able to take all those relationships that I made and kind of spearhead it into one organization, which last night was really the culmination of that.
Yeah.
Was a beautiful thing.
Now, I'd love to watch your Instagram feed because it really started with me, but now you got Clay Travis. He's in Israel. Sexton. He's in Israel. I saw a couple of weeks ago you and Ben Shapiro.
Yep.
It all started with me. You know that. I think I had to be the first one to do that, no? It was 3 months after the war started.
Yeah, you were there. And people were scared to come still.
Scared to death. Janine Pirro said, "Are you nuts?" Rosanna Scotto said, "Are you crazy?" Even the bosses here took insurance, I think. But I got to go now. And I remember not even being, I guess I was a little unnerved, but I went through nothing my first trip. Ironically, it was the most recent trip. We were in a bomb shelter together.
Correct. And it was around the time that Iran sent those missiles in, and you were like texting me, like, Jude, is everything going to be okay?
It was a week before.
Yeah.
Literally, I thought the trip was going to be canceled.
Yep. And you said, is everything going to be good? I said, everything is going to be great. And that speaks to the resilience of the Jewish people. Iran sends a bunch of missiles. A week later, we got Sid Rosenberg flying in. We bounce back.
Forget about a week later. That day, I'm texting you nonstop, Alex Trayman nonstop, all my friends in Israel. And that day was like your daughter's birthday or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
And you're like, so they stop with the missiles. And like a half hour later, you're on your couch in Judea and Samaria singing happy birthday to your daughter.
Yeah, you video called me and you wished her happy birthday.
You people are crazy, just so you know that.
I mean, we do the best we can with the situation that's in front of us.
It's a beautiful crazy. But you're really crazy. And you're a New Yorker.
What else are you going to do?
No, I understand.
You're going to hide under the couch and cower away?
No. Listen, even when we were in the bomb shelter, I only got nervous because of the girl. She was crying, making me hysterical. But
she told you were going to die.
I could have done without that. But you're a New Yorker originally.
Yeah.
You were how old again when you moved to Israel?
I moved to Israel about 13 years ago.
So you were already married at the time? Or
no, I got married in Israel. My wife and I met in New York. She was Israeli visiting New York for a summer. We met here. And then, a couple of years later, we were in touch the whole time.
Yeah.
And I followed her back.
And your mom and dad live here.
Your
dad, Stewie, is one of the all-time greats. He's a legend in the 5 towns. And I think you still love New York, but you would never move back here, right?
No, never.
You never come back and go, I kind of miss this?
No, I come back and I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing my family, seeing friends, doing doing things like that. But in terms of a place to live, my heart is in Israel.
And it doesn't matter how many bombs get dropped, how many terrorist attacks, if wars, 8 different fronts. You love it there. You love it.
I love it. And I'm a believer in God. I believe that if God has the way that you're going to go, that's the way that you're going to go when you're going to go. It doesn't matter if I'm in New York or Hong Kong or Israel.
Right. And you believe that now with President Trump winning this election last month, that clearly the future is much brighter in America. But for you guys in Israel, you feel the same way, yes?
100%. We heard from Huckabee last night how strongly he spoke about Israel and the Israel-U.S. relationship and Judea and Samaria and his thoughts and feelings about the Jewish people. And to have someone like that side by side with Donald Trump, side by side with Bibi Netanyahu, hopefully, that's an A team. That's a power team right there.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I was upset when Trump did not bring back David Friedman, who's also a dear friend of mine, a Five Towns guy. And I said, why? The guy was great. He helped Trump and Jared Kushner with the Abraham Accords. He spends a lot of time in Israel. He's Jewish. And then the more I talk to Mike, and Huckabee and I talk quite a bit, you know that, and the more I see Mike and I watch him speak like he did last night, I got to tell you, it makes all the sense in the world. Mike Huckabee's amazing.
He's amazing, and he's a powerhouse, and you could really see and feel his passion. You could really see it.
So what's the future for One Israel Fund and Judea and Samaria and all the work that Scott Beltman, Eve Harrow, Provisor, all these fine people are doing? What's the future for that?
I think that if you ask them that question, they would say one word: more. They just want to be able to do more. The more that we, the people, the more that we, their donors, empower them, the more they will do for the Jews of Judea and Samaria. Like we saw last night, they unveiled that hospital that they're building.
That's awesome.
Huge.
We've been by that hospital.
Huge.
When it was nothing.
It's a massive hospital, the first hospital like that in the Binyamin region, servicing over 200,000 citizens of Israel, and also servicing people just outside of the borders of Jerusalem and just inside the borders of the part of Jerusalem.
But some of these people, if they had a heart attack, for example, by the time they got to the hospital in Jerusalem, they died.
100%.
Right. So I believe this is the 4th major hospital in Israel, right?
In the Jerusalem area.
In the Jerusalem area. There you go. Right.
If you would get an ambulance from Binyamin and have to go all the way to Jerusalem to a hospital, like you said, there could be real ramifications to that.
Right.
Unless you're getting in a helicopter. This is going to save that. This is going to stop that and give people the ability to live better, get better treatment, get better medical care. And it's all because of the family that's donating the building itself and the One Israel Fund.
Yeah, they were honored last night, too. So we got about 60 seconds to go. I will see you tonight at your Shabbos dinner, which will be very nice. There were so many highlights, you and I, both of these trips. The first trip was more of an oh my God trip. We went to Nova, again, 3 months after the atrocity. So you can still see it, smell
very
it.
Raw, very raw.
Raw, yeah. A rainy day, too. We were at Nova with the guy from Zaka. So we did the Nova thing. We did the kibbutzim. We ended up meeting the Shuva brothers, which was a huge deal. And that trip was more of first time to Israel, take a look at Jerusalem.
Lay of the land.
Right. The most recent trip was more of you've been here, you're kind of one of us. In 6 days on that trip, I spoke to President Trump, President Herzog, and you and I met Bibi Netanyahu. So while there were a lot of similarities with both trips, this last trip was much different than the first trip. You'd agree with that?
100%. And I think that the next trip, which we're planning, I believe, for April, Independence Day, which is a huge party in Israel.
Is that as big as July 4th here?
Massive.
It
is massive.
Is it bigger than or smaller than Jerusalem Day? Because that's Memorial Day, so I couldn't make it for that.
Well, Jerusalem Day in Israel is celebrated mostly in Jerusalem. So if you're in Jerusalem, it's celebrated. Independence Day in Israel, it's a holiday across the entire country. Every single person is doing barbecues, having parties, and it's a really, really festive and special time to be in Israel.
Right. So I can't wait to go for that. Well, it's been an unbelievable couple of years, specifically 2024, this year, which this is our last show. Both of my trips to Israel, thanks to you, were this year in 2024.
Yeah. I also, when you said that this morning, I was like, was it really?
Yes.
Wasn't one the end of 2023?
Right, that's what I thought.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe
this year. And you're just an amazing person. I love you like a brother. I really do. And I want to thank you for all you've done the last 2 years on this show, specifically this year. What a monster year. And something tells me, Yehuda Honickmen, that 2025 may even be bigger for our relationship, you and I, my relationship with Israel, and all the good things that I think are coming to both America and your country.
It definitely will be. I believe that as well.
All right, see you tonight, okay?
Yep.
All right, you look great. That's my dear friend, our dear friend, the great Yehuda Honickmen, the son of Stuart Honickmen. We got to get that in there. We love that guy. We'll take a short break for the great hour number one. My mother, Naomi Rosenberg, stopped by. The great Yehuda Honickmen stopped by. Hour two, we'll talk to Curtis Sliwa, Joe Benigno, and maybe Mike Lawler. I got to tell these guys today, Justin, even Curtis, these are shorter interviews. We're not doing our regular 12-minute deals because I want to get as many people on today. It's the last show of the year as possible, maybe 3 or 4 every hour. So we'll talk to the great Curtis Sliwa, who was in attendance last night next. But we'll have some more surprises along the way when we check out at 10 o'clock. Hour number 2 about to come your way.
Don't you forget who'll take care of you. It don't matter what you do. Moment you had, let him sing melody. You provide the harmony.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
But you say he's just a friend. Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
Disco Friday from Aunt Curtis Sliwa. It only takes a minute, girl, which is basically Justin Ellick's theme song. See what I did there? See that?
That was so funny.
Don't worry, Justin. Eve Harrow has 6 girls for you lined up in Israel. How about that?
At least.
Yeah. So every Friday we do some disco from my man Curtis Sliwa, the righteous Gentile. Curtis gets big ratings noon to 1 every weekday afternoon on the Rip and Read. Overnight weekends, does a tremendous job next to me each and every weekday. He's the icon, the legend, Mr. Guardian Angel, Curtis Sliwa. And I'll say this, Curtis was out there. He was with me in the rain Sunday, not long after October the 7th, outside of Cooper Union, NYU, New York City. Curtis was there with me when they honored me at the Fifth Avenue Synagogue just 5 months after the happenings. Curtis is out there every year at the Israel Independence Parade. Curtis got a ton of love last night at the One Israel Fund Gala. So when he refers to himself as the righteous Gentile, it's deserving. I mean, there were 2 great Gentiles there last night between Curtis Sliwa and Mike Huckabee. And Curtis, you stayed the entire night.
Yes, I did, and I'll tell you momentarily why I stayed the entire night. But we have to make amends today. Like jackals, like vipers yesterday. Your crew was laughing at me, led by Noam Laden, Justin Ellick, and Lou Ruffino. And even you contributed, Sid.
He's not even Jewish. He deserves to be there more than Noam.
Oh. Well, the truth be told, sat in the room with him yesterday is he ate an egg salad sandwich, and you might want to rethink having him at the table. It was nasty, man. I'm still nauseous.
Yeah, okay, now I'm nauseous.
Oh, my
so thank
God,
you.
that is so nasty.
You almost just ruined my day.
It was all over his chin, his mouth.
No. Stop it.
It's disgusting.
No. Egg salad from Curtis. No. You know, mind your business, Gnome. I was eating Frank Morano's Auntie's egg salad that he leaves in there in Tupperware. I burped the Tupperware, smeared it on a piece of bread, and this guy is spying on me like he's the CIA, criminals in action. Mind your business, Gnome.
Well, he took it a step further today. First, he knocked you on really the way you ate, not what you were eating, but the way you ate the egg salad. Then about an hour ago, he's talking about you eating again, this time making a gavone of yourself, a chaza, at the sushi dinner table last night at the big event.
You would have thought that he has not eaten in weeks.
He hasn't.
First of all, Justin, you can't miss him because he's got the red beret on, right? So Justin says, look who's here. And I see him parked at the sushi table. So I walk over there to say hello, but he is shoveling this food in as a woman's trying to get his attention. She wants a picture with him. He's shoveling it in. And so much on, you'll think I'm making this up, that the woman who was on the other side of the sushi counter rolls her eyes at me. And when he finally walks away, which not exaggerating, 30 minutes later, the woman said, I could not make it fast enough to feed him. And so I felt terrible. I reached out and pulled my wallet out. I gave her $20.
Oh, my God. Is all this true, Curtis?
Yeah, it is. It was like really I was on death row, and this was my last meal.
Well, the problem is Curtis only makes a certain amount of money. He's not making $1 million. Trust me. I know what he makes, okay? He's got 19 ex-wives he's got to pay. He's got 19 cats in his apartment in Manhattan. He has no money for his own food. So when you get free food at an event like this, he's going to eat for a week.
And not just free food, top shelf 5-star. These sushi chefs, like you said, couldn't keep up with me. And I'm just like, it's like I had a shovel, man. Because when I'm in Japan, I have guardian angels there. They take me to the sushi bar where you have the little Lionel train that goes around with the plates of sushi on it. And I actually closed the restaurant one time because they ran out of sushi. I love sushi. Oh, God. Kosher. I mean, hey, it was blessed by the rabbi. I was just going to eat it. But notice this guy. He's just spying on me, everything I eat.
I know. He is fascinated when you eat for some reason.
I am. Just recently, but last night was really unbelievable.
Well, so explain to us why, given the opportunity to leave last night, and nobody really left. They're smart. I go to Scott Feltman. I go early on. I go, when are you going to put me up there, honoring me? He goes, I'm putting you at the end.
Correct.
And I said, why? He said, because I don't want anybody to leave.
Exactly.
And nobody left.
Brilliant strategy. Always put your main guest, your main honoree at the very end. Then Michael Rappaport had a great discussion with a guy from Australia who suddenly became all lit up after October 7th. It was great.
He actually moved to Israel for 6 months. You're talking about one of the stars of the show Vampire Diaries, Nate Buzz, and those two had a great conversation.
But remember, they were all ready to leave after your award. They figured it was over. Michael Rappaport had to threaten him by saying, I will have Curtis Sliwa come out and beat the hell out of you, right?
He did say that.
And so all of a sudden, everybody got back into their seats. But I was there, truth be told. I was avoiding your wife, Danielle, because I had to watch my conversations. I was planting the seeds in the ears of all the Jewish attendees that you're the man to take out the schmuck to putz Chuck E. Cheese Schumer in 2020.
You must have, because when I left, I never mentioned Schumer. When I left, a bunch of people who wanted pictures and autographs and please kiss my wife on the way out actually said, so you're running. We love it. We can't stand Schumer. I'm thinking to myself, they must have listened a week ago?
No. This is how it happened. They come up to me, you're running for mayor again. I say, yeah, but that's not why I'm here. Come on, I need your help. We got to lobby Sid to run in 2028 against this guy who's writing a book as an anti-Semite, who President Donald Trump said now is a Palestinian.
I love that.
We play, and Sid is the only one. And they were, yeah. And we had to do it out of the earshot of Danielle.
Right, she gets crazy.
Oh, she gets out of her mind. I could see she was almost moving towards me on one conversation, and I quickly changed it. Oh, you know when I was in Eilat there with Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt to my right, Aqaba and Jordan to my left, and I was listening to electric dance music, I had to really do a pivot and shift quick on that.
You know, I actually asked also at one point yesterday, because they were inviting some, pretty lofty people. Again, the keynote speaker was the man that will be Donald Trump's ambassador, Huckabee. Wasn't that a great speech? And Tom Knipp was there. So I said, please tell me you're not inviting the mayor, because if you invite Mayor Adams, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And, of course, they did not invite the mayor. The mayor was very busy yesterday.
Oh, yeah, very busy. He had a perp walk for Luigi Mangione. First of all, what an outrage. 5,000 cops escorting one guy who's already said in his 3-page manifesto, I'll make it easy for you. I'm a lone wolf. My hero was the Unabomber. I did this by myself. You would have, the heliport at Wall Street. We want all CEOs to know you're safe and secure. And what about us, average everyday people? The Bloods, the Crips will kill 6. They get a 2-person escort. This guy, like 400 guys. And who shows up? No mayor has ever showed up at a perp walk. No mayor. Oh, there he was styling and profiling Eric Adams. Hey, it's City Hall. How come he didn't show up for his very dear friend Ingrid Lewis-Martin's perp walk in the Manhattan courthouse? I loved it when they cuffed her behind her back and she had to go before the judge. She deserved every part of that indictment, that grifter, that thief, that money launderer.
Here is Mayor Eric Adams. I love what you just said, Curtis, talking about what he was doing there with Luigi Mangione. Curtis is right. It was like a scene out of Silence of the Lambs. 90 people there to make sure that, what was his name again in the movie, the bad guy?
Hannibal
Lecter didn't eat somebody. It was
ridiculous. Ridiculous. They made him a cult hero yesterday.
I know.
A cult hero.
I know. Here he is, the Mayor Eric Adams, cut number 5.
The violence that stems from it is something that would not be tolerated in the city. We wanted to personally be here to show the symbolism of leading from the front. We want to thank our partners and the other jurisdictions that played a vital role in this apprehension, particularly the McDonald employee.
Enough of this. Then he goes on to say, give credit to the detectives and says, finally those guys can get some sleep.
Stop
What are you talking about exactly? Cut number 7.
Some of these detectives will finally sleep tonight. After this
enough of that. And then one more.
God, he's an bullshnizzle.
One more. He goes, the obvious. Don't celebrate violence. Don't support Mangione. Great job, Mayor. This is cut number 6.
What do you want to say, Mayor, about the supporters of Luigi, wearing Luigi costumes, supporters of Luigi across the country?
The beauty of this country is that you have the right to protest the right.
Oh, shut up.
And those who are protesting when someone used violence to solve a problem, we saw that on the school ground
enough of that.
well.
Eric, they're not protesting. They're lending support. They're giving him money. They're dressing up as he is. Protesters are what the pro-Hamas people, who you also excuse under the guise of the First Amendment, they're protesting. The Mangione folks, they're not protesting. They're supporting a cold-blooded killer.
Let me amend what I said about Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan. Remember, 22 years I was the cop. I put on the bulletproof vest. A house mouse hiding in the precinct. Everybody knows it. Never made a collar. That's right. This is his first ever perp walk. He never was on a perp walk for any suspect he collared.
Never.
No. So, naturally, he wanted the experience of being on a perp walk after 22 years of being a pencil pusher and hiding in precincts like a house mouse that he is. Show me one collar. I want to know one collar that Eric Adams ever made in 22 years. Nothing. Ugats, bubkis.
One more in the Eric Adams story, then we'll wrap this up. And, of course, I want to thank you for your contribution, your amazing contribution, like nobody else, to this show.
I want to thank you for all that great sushi last night. You're
welcome. Winnie Greco. This is going to become a problem. We talked about the Eastern District. Arthur Aidala may be up for that. Tom Caniff may be up for that. And this would be in that district. Winnie Greco, according to you, about to roll on the mayor?
Well, she is. She's a cooperating witness. The great Isabel Vincent, who is the ace reporter at the Post. They only assign her to the biggest stories where you got to crack the nut. She has joined Team America. And Eric Adams has got to be worrying because the two women who were the biggest grifters at City Hall, who were getting wine-dined and pocket-lined. And I'm going to say it right now here, Sid. Nancy is on the case of Eric Adams now because he has been in charge of the Adams crime family. You saw the Banks brothers. You saw the Caban brothers. You've seen everybody, Timothy Pearson, who had a side hustle, who were loading up. You know organized crime. All the capos, when they make their own money, like the Banks brothers, the Caban brothers, Timothy Pearson, they got to kick up to the big boss. You know that's Eric Adams. And now that we see Ingrid Lewis-Martin, the number one official to the mayor, and Winnie Greco, who's rolling on him, who has joined Team Fed, who took $500,000 to build an arch for the Chinese in Sunset Park. We're still waiting for that arch, Eric. Where's the money? I know Winnie Greco was kicking up to you like the head of organized crime. We don't have all the facts yet. But Nancy is doing the deep dive, and you know she's never been wrong.
Never. She comes up with the best stuff, and she will work until she finds it, and it's real. That's why Curtis is always right. You know, you go back and over the last year especially, we've both gotten some pushback from everybody at the station, outside the station, people like your friend Ingrid Lewis-Martin.
Let me add one last thing to Ingrid Lewis-Martin. Every day you call to get me fired, they'll give you one call a day. Why didn't you call, right, from your house while the feds are listening and D.A. Bragg is listening and just ask me to get fired again? You know, call upstairs and say, hey, for old time's sake, can I do one more call? Fire Curtis Sliwa. Hey, lady, who got indicted? Who had to do a perp walk? You're a criminal. You're a grifter, and you're part of the Adams crime family.
And you're not getting fired anytime soon. John Katzmatidis loves you. Chad loves you. I love you. Your shows on the station are very important. And again, you're a major, major part of the reason why this show has garnered so much success over the last year. I mean, I know things didn't turn out exactly the way you wanted them to. You were hoping, of course, I was killed in an airstrike in Israel, and you got the morning show.
I would have given you the greatest eulogy of all time. I would have been plugged in a heartbeat. We would have memorialized you for 8 days. We would have sat Radio Shiva, and then it would have been Sid who?
Well, take solace in this, okay? That a lot of people last night at this event, nearly 1,000 folks, referred to me as King David II.
Yes.
Because of you.
Yes, and most importantly, as we hit, hey, Justin Elliott, you're working Hanukkah, which is on Christmas, 2028, 8888, right? 8 days of Shiva, 8 days of having me to give my youngest sons. They shake me down because they're Jewish for Hanukkah gifts. Plus, they want Christmas gifts too, Sid Rosenberg. But the real important 8 is 2028. When we take the schmuck, the putz, Chuck E. Cheese Schumer down, friend of the Palestinians, enemy of Bibi, enemy of Jews who are fighting back, and supporting the Nebuchadnezzar schlubby Jews who say, oh, Chuck, let's be nice to our enemies and maybe they won't hurt us. No, Sid Rosenberg, right? King David II. He's got a set. Chuck Schumer, you seen his wife, Iris Weisenthal? He's a capon. He's a gelding. He doesn't have any balls.
Yeah. Listen, thank you for a great year. You're fun. You're smart. You're almost never wrong. You are not afraid to tackle some of the biggest and most controversial topics in this city on your great show and mine. And you are so valued. We love you so much on this show.
Oh, and thank you for having Bill O'Reilly on and explaining how Cuomo's jumping in, just like you and O'Reilly have said.
Yes.
You and O'Reilly are right. I know it from our research. He's coming in, that Italian stallion. Come on in, Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, into the ring of fire.
Listen, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the best. And you and I will be sitting just like this again on January 2nd, 2025. Until then, Mr. Curtis Sliwa, you're great. Thank you so much.
Hey, tell Trump right on the 28th. Get rid of Eric Adams like a bad habit, like hemorrhoids. Put the preparation H on him, let him dry up and float away. Sid, you're the only one who can tell Trump, drop Eric Adams like a bad habit.
Let's fall in love. Will you find yourself a few minutes when you want to fry yourself an egg? Now you spend a few seconds, girl, when you see a man beg. Now it takes some time to go down to the corner store.
Oi! This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. 77 WABC. And now, Sid and Friends in the Morning present Joe Pesci.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho.
Reading the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas list.
All right. Ho, 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 ho. It's Tommy here with the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas gift list. Part one. Maybe there'll be a part two. I don't know. That's up to Paulie. Who knows? Things have been a little weird lately, you know. Spider, get me a cutty and water, you limping mutt. Give me that. All right. Who's first on this list here? I gotta look at my list. Bill O'Reilly. All right, great. An Irish one first. That's great. We got for O'Reilly a night with Billy Bats and Jimmy. We're going to call it Killing the Best-Selling Authors. And we throw him to the Lions if he loses. We're just joking. I almost had him. Anthony, did I have him? I had him. He was shaking. I think we had him. Yeah, that's something O'Reilly did not know. All right, hey, well, hold on a second. Tootie is hitting me in the back. We got to get going. We got to use another phone, yeah? Oh, Paulie's call. Somebody's got to deal with this. Great. We'll be back in a little bit. Shut up and keep your mouth shut. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho.
This has been Joe Pesci reading the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas list. 77 WABC.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Some Jingle Bell rock for you. We are now officially 5 days away from Christmas 2024, Hanukkah 2024 as well, which I must mention after spending last night with a lot of Jews. What an unbelievable event, the One Israel Fund 30-year anniversary gala. It was at the Ziegfeld Theater, West 54th Street. Boy, was the inside of that place gorgeous, Noam, or what? Man, they did a great job.
Yeah, I hadn't been in there since it was a movie theater, and boy, it is a really nice place.
Yeah, it almost looked like Cipriani's, where John and Margot do such a great job for our annual gala every September. This had that same feel last night, right?
And you know what was cool is they left some of the stuff from the movie theater.
Yes.
So some of the lighting on the wall was, I can remember when, going to see movies there. So that was kind of cool too.
Yeah, it was. It's got the nice mix of new and old, and it was a great venue and an amazing night. So Hanukkah starts in just a little. Good morning, Sophie Perez. How are you? Do you want to celebrate Hanukkah or Christmas, Noam?
Where, at my house?
Yes.
No, Hanukkah.
Oh, you don't do any Christmas,
no.
right? Yeah. So you light the candles all 8 nights?
Yeah.
Okay. And you give gifts all 8 nights?
No. I mean, usually we give the couple big ones and then maybe.
Well, give me an idea. What would a big Hanukkah gift be in the Layton house? Like a big one?
Some of them, a big one, like Knicks games and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that is big.
Yeah.
Talking about Knicks games, Suzanne Miller
who, of course, does the big podcast here, she had a great party here a couple of weeks ago. She sent me a text yesterday, and she's like, listen, I love you. You're great to me, blah, blah, blah. You're the big star at the station. Really very, very nice. She says, I've got season tickets to the Knicks. Are you listening, Corey Zelnick, who's usually on Fridays? He'll be back next year. She goes, I've got season tickets, and I want to give you Knick tickets. I said, well, I'm not going to say no. What, are you kidding me? She sent me a list of about 30 games. And on top of that, promised, not if, but when the Knicks make the playoffs, I get playoff tickets too.
Wow.
How about that?
Where are her seats, do you know?
According to her, quote, these are great seats.
Wow, okay.
Suzanne Miller. She has like seats downstairs.
That's pretty sweet.
So I'm going to take Gabriel, of course, because he loves the Knicks. You want to see Gabe? Well, you saw it. Him and Michael Rappaport last night talked about the Knicks the whole night.
Yeah.
They're both big basketball guys. So thank you, Suzanne Miller. All right, so you got Knick tickets at Noam's house. That's great.
And we're doing a big summer vacation, so
really
that'll be part of it. And then money, and then I don't know about in your house, but in my house as a kid, it always was socks and, stuff you needed for school and stuff like that. We'd throw that in there too.
The practical stuff,
Right.
which was so boring.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, the joke was, Daddy would always get socks, a tie, underwear. Mommy's getting fancy jewelry. Maybe we'll send her to Carlsbad in San Diego for a day at the spa. Right. And my father got 3 ties.
Yeah, what do you do when you open up a thing and it's socks? Like, people are okay.
Did you say it sucks or it socks?
Socks.
Okay.
But if you're opening a present.
I know.
And, oh, yeah, I could use these. And everybody goes, oh, yeah. Right.
Well, that's the thing. You have to show the same enthusiasm.
I love socks, though.
Whether there's a Mercedes parked outside or it's a pair of socks. I remember one of the coolest gifts I ever got for Christmas, not Hanukkah, because, again, I celebrated Christmas. My sister, Alana, my oldest sister, and my brother-in-law, Harry, before we, disagreed about Trump, they got me my first subscription to Sports Illustrated. Okay. Maybe I was 9 or 10. I don't know. And I remember the very first edition I got, which they put under the tree. It was the Sportsman of the Year. This is 1970s. And the guy that won Sportsman of the Year that year.
What year was it?
This is going to be like 77-ish, around there.
Mark Fidrich.
Not a bad guess. What was his nickname again?
The Bird.
Very good. Detroit Tiger pitcher. No, this guy was, I believe, the youngest person ever to win the Kentucky Derby.
Cawthon.
Very good.
Wow.
Stevie Cawthon.
Impressive.
That is.
Nice job, Lewis.
Because that's the same age when I would start getting Sports Illustrated.
Oh, there you go.
I asked for Sports Illustrated, and I got it.
There it is. He was on the cover. He won all 3, of course. He was on Affirmed.
Yes.
And they had all great races against Alydar, and he won all 3. He won the Triple Crown. Back then, we won a couple in the 70s. You had Seattle Slew, you had Affirmed. And there may have been one more. I don't know. But Steve Cawthon, and I love that gift. It was so great. I never read the stories. Never. I just looked at the pictures.
Well, and then, of course, the magazine that came after that in February was the one you really only wanted to look at the pictures.
Oh.
It was the bikini issue.
No, that's what Noam was.
I don't even know if they had a bikini issue back then. I think the next year I asked my sister, forget about Sports Illustrated. How about Penthouse?
That's what I thought you were first going to say. Hey, I got my first subscription.
I didn't even like Playboy. It wasn't dirty enough for me.
That's
it was too clean.
When you unwrap it, like, this isn't dirty enough.
I saw something that was like Ass Magazine. I'm like, can I get that? Ass Magazine?
Yeah. Holly jolly Christmas. That's good. Hey, who wants eggnog?
Entertaining and informative. This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. 77 WABC.
o'clock hour about to come your way. We're going to talk to Scott LoBaido, the relentless patriot, the great artist. He's hoping to paint. He should paint at the inauguration. And again, found out a couple of days ago from my dear friend Liz Pipko. In fact, a week from tomorrow night, I'm going on vacation. That's true. Today's the last show. So you're not going to hear this show in this, the way we do it, till January 2nd of 2025. But if you keep up with me on social media, and many, many, many thousands of you do, I'm doing some cool things over vacation, including the dinner coming up a week from tomorrow night with Siggy Flicker, the great Siggy, and her husband, Michael Liz Pipko, the great Liz, and her husband, Darren, and me and Danielle at Mar-a-Lago, where I do expect to see President Trump. And then we'll be back, Danielle and I, and this radio show for the inauguration, and we will be going, Danielle and I, to the big inaugural ball. So a lot of cool stuff about to come your way. But LoBaido needs to paint like he did in Wildwood, like he did at the rally in Nassau Coliseum, like he did at the rally at MSG, like he did at the rally when he returned to Butler, Pennsylvania. LoBaido's got to do it. He's coming up at 8:25. Famed defense attorney, a dear friend of mine for 47 years, Joseph Tacopina, coming up at 8:45. But I want to get as many people on today as possible who helped us during the last year. Now, look, we have a lot of sports guys on this show. Francesa was on a couple of times last year. Christopher Mad Dog Russo was on pretty regularly a lot in 2024 and all these years. But the one guy I've got that can talk about the Mets or the Jets or Donald Trump and has no issue doing it. These other guys, they get very nervous. No politics. That's not Joe Benigno. So here he is, WFAN legend, and now a huge contributor to Sid Friends in the Morning, my former partner, Joe Benigno. Joseph, good morning, pal.
Bro, how are you? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everybody out there. God bless. When you go down to see the big guy, give him a kiss for me, okay? Will you do that, please?
I will do that, yes. So O'Reilly was on the show yesterday. He's on every Thursday, his last session with me until 2025. And I mentioned that you're reading all these killing books, and your beautiful wife, Terry, she's reading all these killing books, and you loved confronting the presidents. But I'm not going to lie to you. I did say that at the end of the text, you did once again call him a pompous ass. So
I just said pompous, but yeah. I am now. Let me tell you something. These books are phenomenal. I read Confronting the Presidents. I read Killing Kennedy. It took me about 5 days to read that, and it is a fat. Let me tell you something. If you're into the Kennedy White House, I was a kid, but I remember it pretty well. I was 10 years old when he got killed. I remember the day vividly. It's just phenomenal. He paints the whole picture. The Camelot and all that. It's great. Now. I just yesterday, because now I'm into reading all these books. Yesterday I went and got Killing Jesus. I figured that was, I was going to get that or Patton, but I got Jesus because of the season, and it's outstanding too. I got Killing Witches for my wife, so I'm all over O'Reilly's books right now.
That's awesome. And I will say this. You sent me a text last week, and it was probably a throwaway text for you, but it meant a lot for me. You and I worked together. We had a great show. We could have been the next Mike and the Mad Dog. I screwed that up. I take accountability for that. But you do all these.
I love you anyway, though, bro. I love you.
Thank you. You do all these great sports shows, but you thanked me last week. You said, thank you for allowing me to come on your great show and talk about politics and talk about Trump, something you can't do at your regular job.
Right.
So I appreciated that text, and you're great at it. You do a terrific job with both sports and politics. So selfishly, it works for me, but thank you for sending me that text.
Well, I appreciate it. I really mean it, bro. You've given me a pulpit, whatever you want to call it, a platform to talk about, how I feel about what's going on in the country right now. I'm a little upset with this bill going down. Well, what is with this omnibus bill and this stuff going down? Chip Roy, Don, they killed the bill.
Elon.
What they're going to close? They're going to shut down the government?
No.
What is this nonsense?
They won't do it. It's always down to the very last second. In fact, Mike Lawler, the great congressman out of Rockland
from
County.
New York. Love Mike Lawler.
He texted me.
Beard, by the way, Mike Lawler.
Yes, good beard. He texted me 2 minutes ago. He may hop on to give us the latest. My feeling is they'll avert, like they always do, a government shutdown. But everybody's playing hardball, including Don. Don did not do his good buddy Mike Johnson any favors the last couple of days.
No, you know what? And as far as that goes, are we really going to get rid? They got rid of McCarthy. Are they really going to get rid of Johnson too now? I mean, come on. I mean, give me a break. How many times are the Republicans going to do that? You don't see the Democrats do that.
Listen, it's gross, but it could happen. I mean, there is a.
No, I know.
McCarthy's out. They try to get Jim Jordan. That didn't work out. The New York crowd, in fact, didn't like him. They love him personally, but he wasn't good for New York. They tried to get Steve Scalise. That didn't work out. Right. They get Johnson, who I think is a very good speaker, and now they want to get rid of him. So, and you know who the culprits are. Some of them are my friends. I mean, MTG is a friend of mine, but when you get when they get a hair up their ass, that's it, Joe.
Yeah, well, MTG is she's a hound dog, man. She don't stop, So
she's rough.
I totally get it. How about Elon for speaker? How about that? Is that possible? I guess it's not possible because he's not in Congress, right?
You don't have to be. Anybody can be the speaker.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
You could be the speaker.
Right. No, I don't want to be the speaker.
What are you doing next year?
No, I'm good, bro.
You sure? You want to keep talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets?
I will say this: if Don gave me some kind of a job, I would certainly work for him.
You would do that, right?
Yes.
I mean, you got to be just about at the end of the line talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, no?
Well, I mean, here's my deal. You bring it up. I want Rodgers back next year. I don't want another rebuild. And I am firmly in the Mike Vrabel camp. I think that, I guess they're going to interview the former GM in Tennessee who, worked with Vrabel. I'd hire him and bring Vrabel in. Let's go. I mean, I want a veteran guy. We cannot have a first-time coordinator with this franchise. We cannot start from scratch again. Another rebuild. There's too many good young players on his team. We need a real coach, and we need bring Rodgers back for one more year and, maybe draft a quarterback in the second round or whatever and try to develop that.
Well, I agree with you. And Rodgers, I thought, has played well enough the last month. He's proven he can still play. So,
of course.
So I'm a Giant fan. I'm really down on John Mara. You don't listen every day, but I tell Giant fans all the time, stop showing up, even with your stupid bags over your head. Don't show up.
How about the planes? They're flying the planes again.
I know, but don't show. You really want to hurt John Mara? Don't show up. Don't show up and then complain that the product is no good. He needs to fire Daboll. He needs to fire Shane. But I'm really down on the owner. How did Jet fans feel about Woody Johnson?
Well, he's a terrible owner. I mean, I like Woody. Look, Woody's a big Don guy, so from that aspect, I like Woody. I get that. But, he's been a terrible owner. Look, the biggest mistake made this year, and look, Salah wasn't a very good coach. He's a great guy, not a good coach. He shouldn't have fired Salah when he did. That really just sabotaged.
Why did he do that? Because Aaron Rodgers was so angry?
I don't think so. I don't think it had any. This is what kills me. I got to tell you, Sid. Really, everybody, the media can't wait to blame Rodgers for everything. They can't wait to run him out of town. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, let me tell you, here's the problem. Too many people have been covering the Jets, beat writers for the Jets, for too long. And they don't want to see them win. They want them to be a continuing soap opera and a continuing disaster because it's a better story. And as a Jet fan, I'm sick and tired of it. I mean, I'm not going to say names, and I could, but I won't. Some of these guys I like. A lot of them I don't like. I'm sure most of them don't like me. That's a problem. Look, Rodgers can play. And the last thing I want to see is him leave because he's going to play next year. He is. He's still got a lot of juice. The last thing I want to see is Rodgers go somewhere else and light it up next year.
Right. Jason Whitlock told me a couple of days ago he'll be in San Francisco next year. Brock Purdy's never healthy.
Well, I hope Jason Wood. I respect Jason Wood. I love him. I think he's tremendous. But I hope he's 100%
yeah, I know you do. Two more we got to run. I want to get to baseball. The Mets get Soto. Alonso's still out there. But I got to tell you, the Yanks, yes, they lose a big bat. Cody Bellinger is not Juan Soto. But they bring in Max Fried. They got maybe the best closer in Devin Williams in the National League. So at least the Yankees, at the very least, with Cole and Fried atop that rotation, that's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. By the way, Devin Williams is the guy to give up the home run to Pete in the playoff game, in the third game against Milwaukee. Thank you very much. So, look, I mean, they rebounded nicely. The Yankees are going to be good. I mean, come on, they're going to be good. They still got a solid team. Judge is still there. They got players on that team yet. So, it's not like the Yankees are going to crumble into, a 75-win team here. So, let's be real. Yeah. The Mets need to sign Alonso. I want him back. I think every Met fan does. I think Uncle Stevie's got to get it done. Okay, and I want to see Sean Manaea back too. I mean, some of these pitches, this guy from the Angels they just traded for with a 5.1 ERA.
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
Frankie Montas. See, this is David Stearns did a great job last year. There's no question about it. But I think he's getting a little too cute with signing some of these stiffs.
I know, but
come on.
But be careful. We killed them last year, and it all worked out. So maybe last one on the winter sports. The Rangers usually play like this in the playoffs. Now they're playing like this during the regular season. But
I don't want to say they play like this in the play. I mean, look, they did get to the conference finals last year, and they've been a good playoff team for a long time. Here's what I blame the GM. Why did Chris Drew? Now they got rid of Truva, they got rid of Kako. Why did this guy, I think they were 12-4-1 at the time, or whatever they were. They lost a couple games on that Western swing, and he comes out and makes this statement, well, everybody, we're open for business. We'll trade anybody. They haven't been the same team since then. Even Shesterkin hasn't been as good. They gave him the big contract.
Yep.
Even he hasn't been as good. I totally blame Chris Drury for this. What's happened.
Okay, fair enough. But the other tenant there, I was arguing last night with my son, who's a great basketball Knick fan, and Michael Rappaport, who's a great basketball guy. He was at this event with me and Gabriel last night. Great basketball knowledge.
Didn't Rappaport come around and vote for Don? By the way, didn't he?
Yes.
Finally woke up and smelled the coffee.
Yeah, he did.
Time.
But I told him last night, I go, we're good enough, the Knickerbockers, to win it. And they both said, no, we're not. We don't go deep enough. We've got 7 guys. That's it. And eventually teams like Boston will just, outplay us because we're not that deep a team. I said, no, we're good enough to win it. Are we?
I think we're very soft. I think we're a soft team. I don't think we're great defensively. I got to see it, man. They haven't won since You know what, Sid? 1973. I don't even think you were born yet. Okay,
I was 6 years old. I was 6.
That's the last time they won a championship.
Yeah.
I will believe that the New York Knickerbockers have won a championship when it happens. You know, there's been a lot of pain over the years. The Ewing years, there was a lot of brutal playoff losses, as you know, during the years with Patrick. You know, and even the last couple of years, last year, I mean, the second round, brutal playoff loss to Indiana. I think if Anunoby didn't get hurt, they probably would have won that series, but whatever. I'll believe it when I see it, Sid. I think they're a little soft. I think Towns is a real good player. It bothers me that he takes nights off. You know, Patrick Ewing, back in the days when Ewing was playing, okay, and I was doing the overnight, you know, I used to go to a lot of Knick games. I was in the Garden all the time. After every game, and Ewing would never take a day off, I would see him with both knees in buckets of ice water when I go into the locker room. Yep. I mean, he played all the time. Yeah, and the NBA's gotten very soft. It's very soft.
Well, Mikal Bridges is getting killed. He has some good games, but Knick fans are very disappointed in him so far.
Well, it's early. What are they, 16-10? I mean, you're a Knick fan right now.
Yeah.
You know, the season lasts forever. Just relax. They're going to be in the playoffs. And we'll see. I mean, it's all about winning in the playoffs. There's no doubt about it.
All right, Joe. So in the final 30 seconds, this is a legendary WFAN host, but now a big-time contributor to this show on WABC. Joe Benigno, what is your message this holiday season to your listeners at the Fan and here as well?
Thank God the big guys are coming back. Thank God the big boys are coming back. Let's get rid of these drones. Let's straighten out this stupid omnibus bill or whatever the hell it is. And I by the way, isn't it time? You know, I'm reading real quickly, reading O'Reilly's book, Confronting the Presidents. Up until 1933, the first term of FDR, Inauguration Day was March the 5th. They moved it to January 20th in 1933. Isn't it time now to move it like the January 2nd, Sid? Isn't it time to move it up?
Well, I got to tell you.
We have to wait another month.
I know. After watching Joe Biden this time around, you may want to move it to November 7th.
Well, that would have been better. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So that's my message. I can't wait till the big boys come back. God bless America. And, again, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to everybody. You too, bro. You and Danielle, the entire family. Like I said, when you go down to Mar-a-Lago, give Don a little kiss for me, okay? Tell him I love him. And, good job by you. Going to be at the inauguration. You going to speak at the inauguration? You're not going to speak.
No, right? I don't think so. I curse too much at the Garden. I think I'm suspended for about 6 months.
Is there any truth to the rumor that you will be sitting between Joey Boy and Jilly? Is there any truth?
That could happen. That could happen. Who knows? I don't know. But again, thank you so much for doing a great job with us. And we'll continue this, Joe Benigno, when we get back in 2025. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
You too, bro. All the love.
All
Happy
the love.
Hanukkah. God bless.
You
all right,
too.
bro? Take care.
Give a big kiss to Terry for me, too. We love Terry. That is the great Joe Benigno right there, folks. Still a legend at WFAN, but doing a great job with us here on Sid and Friends in the Morning, sports and politics as well. Hour 3 about to come your way.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. 77 WABC. And now, Sid and Friends in the Morning present Joe Pesci.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho.
Reading the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas list.
Where the heck am I next? Let's get to, on the list, executive producer Justin Ursinus Ellick.
Ooh, what'd you get me?
What kind of school is that? Oh, my God. He better have kept his shine box. Spider, where's that drink? Okay, for Ellick, we're going to give him a bail bond for Eagle games. And a nice Jew broad from the 5 pounds.
Thanks a lot, Joe Pesci.
Yeah, he could have fun with that. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, just what I always wanted.
You better have your hand ready. Ellick, you know what I'm saying? Did I have him again, Anthony? I had him. He was shaking.
Hey, I think we had him.
All right, hang on, everybody. I see some of them blue-eyed stupid hacks over there. Before we get pinched, we're going to pause right now. We'll pick it up in part 2. All right, keep your mouth shut, all of yous. Jeez. Great, we'll be back in a little bit. Shut up and keep your mouth shut. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho.
This has been Joe Pesci. Reading the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas list. 77 WABC.
Been a fun show already today, starting with, who was on? We had Yehuda Honickmen. First, we had my mother. My mom, Naomi, calling in at 6:25 this morning, live from Aventura, Florida. Going to go see my mom next week. Mrs. Me, my wife, Danielle, my kids, Ava and Gabriel. So we're going to go see Mommy next week. She called in at 6:25 to wish you all a happy holiday season, and she talked extensively about how happy she was that when we get back on the air here, because today is our last show of 2024, next time you'll hear my voice will be January of 2025. She talked extensively about how happy she is that President Trump will be taking back Pennsylvania Avenue. And she talked about how hard I worked and how hard she worked, and it was a nice conversation, Mom. So she was on. Then we had Yehuda Honickmen live in studio. Yehuda doing a great job with us in 2023. He's 24, I should say. He's the reason why this show, me, my family, Justin, we went to Israel not once but twice, dating back to January of 2024, and most recently to commemorate 1 year, October 7th. Of 2024. He's been a great friend. So Yehuda was here. Curtis, I can't say enough about Curtis. Man, the job he does on this show every day, breaking it down, whether it's Eric Adams, the mayor, no one's better with the city stuff than Curtis. Nobody. Mayor Eric Adams, Governor Andrew Cuomo. He's in a good mood today. He's not a very big fan of Ingrid Martin Lewis, who was in fact indicted yesterday. She surrendered. So he does a great job, the national stuff too. And he is
about the most righteous Gentile. He's right there with Mike Huckabee. Almost every major event that has honored me, and I've got plaques. Thomas Kniff, Daniel Penny's attorney, showed up last night. I invited him. He's like, how many plaques do you have? I said, Tom, I swear to God, 30? I don't know. I can't even tell you. Between the police in New York and on Long Island, even the DEA, Paul DiGiacomo, Israel, the size of this award they gave me and Danielle last night, this menorah, it's like the size of a Lincoln Tunnel. And all the Trump stuff I've got signed, including a beautiful lithograph from my next guest, Scott LoBaido. My house is becoming a museum. It really is. But Sliwa comes to everything. And him and Huckabee were two of the most righteous Gentiles in the world. They were both in that building last night. That was great. Mike Huckabee gave an unbelievable speech, the incoming ambassador to Israel for President Trump. So we had Joe Benigno on after that, the WFAN legend. And now we got, I think, 4 more great guests. Hadassa Goldberg, she was honored last night. She's a terrific young lady. She'll be in studio next hour. We got Lisa Tuozzolo and Louis Tutone. Lisa's husband, Paul, in the same spirit, unfortunately, as John Diller. John Diller, Stephanie Diller's husband, was murdered last year, while Lisa's husband, Paul, great cop, was murdered all the way back in 2016. In fact, Donald Trump was just about to take office for the first time, and he called her because her husband was just gunned down. She'll join us in studio coming up at 9. We'll talk to famed defense attorney, my friend of 47 years, the great Joseph Tacopina. And coming up next, the relentless patriot, the great American, the big-time artist, and a rebel out there on Staten Island, Scott LoBaido. So a lot more to do as we once again close shop at 10 o'clock this morning. The great Scott LoBaido coming up next.
Is Sid and Friends in the morning.
From my friends.
77 WABC.
It's Christmas. Baby, please come home.
I love this one. U2 remade this. Baby, Please Come Home. Christmas 2024, now just 5 days away. So we're bringing on lots of folks today and shorter interviews than usual. I just want to thank a lot of the folks that really propelled this show to a place I could never have imagined. I mean, you know, January 27th of 2025, that's coming up. 1 week after President Trump officially takes office, will be my 9-year anniversary here. I never spent 9 years at any other radio station in my career. The closest was 5 years at WFAN, and man, was that turbulent.
This has been an amazing 9 years, and this show has reached levels here in the United States, Israel, other parts of the world that you couldn't make up. You couldn't make it up. So we do want to thank a lot of the folks that helped make that possible. And one of those guys is this guy. He's a tremendous artist. He does this speed painting. He's done it for Trump time and time again. Nassau Coliseum, Madison Square Garden, the return to Butler, Pennsylvania, Wildwood, New Jersey. Hopefully he does it again at the inauguration. A great movie about this guy, well-deserved, The Relentless Patriot. He's just a terrific American, a great Staten Islander, and a Sid babe. A couple of minutes here to wrap up 2024 with Scott LoBaido. Scotty, Uncle Scotty, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Thanks, brother, man. Again, it's the end of the year. It's Hanukkah. It's Christmas. We love this time of the year. I'm just really honored to be part of you the last couple of months, to be part of this wonderful, awesome program with you. Because you're a maniac, and, maniacs stick together. We're good maniacs. Right. That's the thing. We're Trump's maniacs.
Are you coming down? Are you going to come down at all during this holiday period to see Trump?
Well, I'm going to try. But right now, I'm a little pissed off because you got invited to the inaugural ball before I did. I don't know I guess maybe because you cursed more than I did at Madison Square Garden.
I cursed more than everybody combined. What are you kidding me? But look, the invite didn't come from Siggy. This invite came from my dear friend Liz Pipko. I think you know who Lizzie is. She works very closely. She's the face of the RNC. Michael Watley and Lara Trump did the nitty-gritty work. It was Liz, who's been on TV every day, basically, for the last 7 months. She's been a friend of mine for 4 years, so she's the one who got me into the inaugural ball.
Good. Put the good word in for me. Now,
of course.
I know we got a short time here. Listen, I want to do the opposite. I want to start with my insanity and my anger and then end off with something nice because it's the holiday season.
I like it.
I want to talk about this punk Luigi. I'm not even going to say his last name. It is disgusting, okay? This kid killed that healthcare CEO because he couldn't get it up. He couldn't get a Woody. He had some kind of operation. Listen to me. What the health department put my father through, 82 years old, they took all his money. Disgusting. It makes you nuts. But you never think about killing anybody. This kid, this punk, he's calling what he is. He's a punk. He's had a back surgery, and it affected him getting a Woody, and he's frustrated, so he took it out on this poor guy who has a wife and kid. Now, with that said, did you see the image of him getting off that helicopter?
Oh, please. Yeah. It reminded me, I said this morning, it reminded me of a scene like Silence of the Lambs with,
yes.
Right?
Dude. They're glorifying. This is the problem. It's called the Night Stalker effect. See, there's something people don't know about me. I've been watching horror movies and documentaries about serial killers my whole life. I find it fascinating, the psychology of how people can, be this way. And you pay attention. This is the Night Stalker effect because that guy was a crazy, sick killer, if you remember. Now, once he started going to trial, for some reason, he became the coolest, handsome, sexy dude, and all the women in this country fell in love with this guy. And the media kept playing into that. The media and society created this and glorified this man. And that's what's happening with this punk Luigi. It's exactly what's happening. And let me say this. When I saw Mayor Adams walking behind him, just like you said, like a scene from, The Silence of the Lamb or like a John Wayne movie when they were taking the bad guy to the gallows. It was disgusting. That's why these things keep happening, because we glorify these punks. That punk should have got out of that helicopter in a pink tutu with shitty makeup on his face to embarrass him and to humiliate you for real and let other people know that this is what's going to happen if you pull some of this.
You're so right. And you got a lady standing outside. Look, thank you for your support. They're sending this guy thousands. And you got people dressing up in New York as the killer. I mean, this city, Scott, I'm sorry, between these pro-Hamas animals running up and down the streets, then you get people dressing as Luigi Mangione, and this mayor's got the balls to stand there and tell us all how great he is on running again. He's lucky he's not in prison.
Listen to me. The only reason he's, kissing ass on Trump and Holman, our buddy Holman, I'm friends with Holman, is because the difference between Donald Trump and Mayor Adams is Donald Trump's, all his charges and everything is bull. It's nothing. It's fake. That's the difference. Adams did make mistakes. Adams is guilty, and he knows he's going down, so he's kissing it. Is it good for our city? Absolutely. But that son of a bitch had the opportunity to take care of the crime in this city, take care of the illegal aliens destroying the city a long time ago, and he didn't staple his balls on, and now he's the greatest mayor in New York City.
This is why women love you. This is why you're a pinup model at this point, LoBaido. When you go on Instagram and you smoke a cigarette like James Dean and you unveil a piece of heart like The View with 6 head made out of duty instead of actual female faces, this is why almost every single woman across America wants to have sex with you. Almost all of them.
Pretty crazy. Actually, that's what I'm talking about. Glorifying some crazy son of a bitch, and here I am. Yeah, but it's different. I don't kill people.
That's right.
I say, and I paint what's on people's minds. And I know I got to split, but I just want to say this: these drones, okay? I got a plan to catch one because we got them here on the South Shore in Staten Island. I've catch one safely, so stay tuned for that.
All right.
And also stay tuned this year, man. This is going to be a great year. Now, listen, I want everybody to remember this. Trump won. We are going to be so great, this country. But remember, this not over. We're still going to have these fires. We're still going to have these little punks and these cities, these mayors, these woke people that are going to be screwing with this country. So I'm begging people, please, this is my Christmas wish. This is my holiday wish for Americans. Stay vigilant, people. Yep. Stay alert. Pay attention, and please stay patriotic. What happens is we get this patriotic fever, and then it drops. Everybody stops putting their flags out. They're like, we got it. It's important to stay patriotic. I teach people that for 40 years. Please, people, please do that for me.
That's perfect, bro. And you're right. We cannot be complacent. He won, but the real work begins now. Scott LoBaido, you're a treasure. You've been immense for this program the last couple of months. I look forward to many great conversations in 2025. We love you, pal. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Love you, brother.
Love you, too. Before we go to break and Tacopina comes on, let me put the president of this fine... Hop on the mic there. I thought about you last week. I'll tell you why. Because Navy beat the living daylights out of Army in a college football game, and I see Trump and J.D. Vance and Daniel Penny, all these great Americans. I go, where's Chad Lopez? He's actually in the Navy. Do you get excited when you see Navy win a game like that?
Well, first off, good morning.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. All of it. Wish you all the best. And Sid, you're doing a great job. But yes, what a game, right?
Yeah.
What a game. I felt like I was there. I was watching my brother, and it was a great game.
They killed him.
Great game.
They killed him.
Yeah, and I won a lot of money on it too.
Well, I'm glad you hopped on because this was a great year for all of us. The station did great. Well, everybody.
It really was.
Congratulations to John and Margot and you, all the shows. But being here on this show right now, this show specifically took a huge leap in 24, I should say. And I think 25 will be even better. But obviously, without this platform, without you and John and WABC, we can't do that. So just want to thank you for all the hard work you guys do for helping this show do what it can do. And I'm telling you, it's going to be even bigger, if that's possible, in 2025.
There's no question it's going to be bigger. And I don't think we've stopped. We're just beginning, right? Sid, first off, I want to thank you for your professionalism, your talent. We go back to Cumulus and bringing you back.
9 years.
It was the right decision, right?
Thank
John
you.
And Margot keeping you, believing in you when, unfortunately, we lost Bernie, and then having you here has been great for New York, not just the station, but for New York.
Thank you.
But also what you've done this year with going to Israel. The year before and all that stuff, you don't just say it. You don't walk the walk and not talk the talk. You actually talk the talk and walk the walk, and you do it. So thank you for everything you've done. Our success is you. Obviously, without John and Margot, we wouldn't be here to prove any success. So
and you.
Thank you for them, for what they've done for us and believing in us. And it's been a great year. It's been a great year. And you know what? We made a difference this year.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. And think about that for a second. Because how many radio shows can say that? Yeah, some of them are entertaining, not many. Some are compelling, not many. Right. Some are thought-provoking, not many. Look what he just said, and he's right. We made a difference.
Right.
That's a big deal.
And you know what? I was thinking about that the other day, because John always says that too. We made a difference, and we did. And I was thinking of some of the hosts, right? Yeah, they were great. A lot of these hosts, oh, so great, so great. But when you think about what difference did they make? Did they go to, where you went in, where there was danger, and you had out here just walking in the streets out here for what you stood for with the station system.
It may have been more dangerous when I showed up for that pretty big press conference. We got a lot of pub at Columbia University than down by Gaza.
Yeah. But it's those are the things that's what radio was, right? That's what we do.
When we grew up on radio, that's what it was.
That's what it was. Going into the community, going to the streets, getting the true feelings of the listeners, and then they relate to you. It's a 1-to-1, right? They used to say radio was 1-to-many. It's not. It's a 1-to-1, right?
Yeah.
And every one of those listeners, we watch the audience grow, and we watch the share of audience, and we're saying, what's going on, And then we realized it's not just having great, equipment, all that stuff. It's the talent. It's what you bring. And then the connection that happens on the street with everyone, and then the feedback we get.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you and all of our talent. All of our talent has done a great job. You've done an exceptional job where not just talking the talk, but walking the walk and going in and doing. So thank you.
Thank
for
you.
a great year.
Thank you. I love you, pal.
And thank you to our audience as well.
Thank you. That's the man that brought me back. A lot of guys talking about talking, walking the walk. A lot of guys talked about bringing me back. He's the only guy that had the balls to do it. And guess what? He's going to go to the Hall of Fame for that. I'll tell you that right now. He's going to the Hall of Fame for that one decision right there. Chad Lopez, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And Chad's going to be a grandfather this year, just like John Katzmatidis. So congratulations to you.
That's right, too. This is going to be my second.
Your second?
My first. She's 8 months, Oakley, and then Gabrielle is having a boy.
Yes.
In the March. So,
well, she's doing March?
Yeah.
Big year for you. Chad Lopez, we love you. Congratulations. We'll take a short break. When we get back, from one dear friend to another, friend of mine for 47 years, famed defense attorney Joseph Tacopina, wrapping up 2024 on Sid and Friends in the morning.
And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait. You see, another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred go. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Wait and see.
77 WABC.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
No, I get by with a little help from my friends.
Wrapping up the 8 o'clock hour. Christmas 5 days away. Joseph Tacopina, famed defense attorney, friend of mine for 47 years. Former President Trump attorney. It's funny. So Trump has his trial for E. Jean Carroll, And E. Jean Carroll claimed that Donald Trump raped her in a, Bergdorf Goodman, I forget what store it was. It's the most ridiculous, made-up, stupid story ever. So what happens? So down the road, Nancy Mace, my friend from Congress, she's on television with George Stephanopoulos. And Stephanopoulos is probably the biggest dick on television. He's got to be. So he keeps referring to Trump as a rapist, even though Joe Tacopina won that case and the rape charge was thrown out. Well, Georgie, baby, you're a smart guy. You can't call somebody a rapist when, in fact, the jury said he didn't rape her. So Trump ends up getting like $15 million. So the question, Joe Tacopina, is, of that $15 million, how much is he giving you because you won the case?
When I first read that, how they ponied up all that money and Stephanopoulos was embarrassed and humiliated, I'm thinking, well, 15 million. If I just got a third of that, which would be the normal take, that would be okay.
Well, be honest. Did you text President Trump and say, "Congrats"?
Of course,
you did, right? What did you say?
Within a minute, which is basically, that's why this jury was right in finding you not guilty of the rape, and glad you got all this money. And by the way, my mailing address is 275 Madison Avenue. But so I got a smile back. But
you got a smile back. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
There's another lady now. Some I thought she was Joy Reid, but she's not. She's also African American and a woman. And she was on MSNBC last Sunday, and she says, "I got to tell you, what Stephanopoulos said was kind of right. So Trump should sue her, too, and NBC."
The jury said very clearly, because all that case was about was rape. She said rape in her direct testimony 52 times. Rape. It was about rape. The lawyers summed up on rape. They opened on rape as a rape. The jury said, and a Manhattan jury, and said, how monumental it is for a Manhattan jury to find Donald Trump not liable, not guilty of anything.
Not just a jury. And I'll say this, you can't, because you see these judges. That Judge Kaplan in your case, he was impossible. He let them play that Billy Bush tape 100 times.
No, they played it at will. And in the case that wasn't even relevant. Okay, so I will say that I argued that in front of him. So I'm willing to say that here. They got to play that at will, and that's a cringeworthy tape, right? But yet that's not relevant to did he rape Jean Carroll or not. Anyway, a Manhattan jury who is no friend to Donald Trump, and as we've seen in every other case that he's tried in Manhattan, where there's been across the board, convictions or findings of liable, said not liable on rape, not liable. So there's no scenario where you could say George Stephanopoulos was sort of right. He couldn't have been more wrong. He called someone a rapist who was found, adjudicated not to be a rapist. And by the way, Sid, it was a civil case. So all the jury had to do was find 51% likelihood that he was a rapist. Not even a criminal case where the standard is proof beyond a reasonable doubt, the highest standard in law. Here, it was just 51%, and the jury still said, no way. And yet Stephanopoulos, apparently, so smart that he is, and I know he's as arrogant as they come, because I've been on his show, apparently didn't understand the difference, didn't read, or
he knows.
Didn't care.
He knows. In fact, that story came out a couple of days ago. He was warned. He was actually warned before, don't say the word rape, and he said it 5 times anyway, because he thinks he's George. Nothing's going to happen to me. Well, we'll see. So wait. So
well, you know what? That's a good message, though. I mean, really, it's just the media is out of control, and especially when it comes to they want to take their shots at President Trump and whatever, but you have to at least keep your comments based on facts. You can't just say things that are just made up out of whole cloth.
Yeah.
And this was contrary to a finding by a jury. So that was just, I'm so happy.
And by the way, how about listening to your boss? I mean, NBC warned him not to do it. You think if John Katzimatidis or Chad Lopez said to me, you say that, you're going to be in big trouble, I would say, well, I don't know, maybe.
ABC,
actually, I'm a bad example.
Right. Let's not, you're not the flag bearer for that. But by the way, thank you for the intro music. Another one of my former clients, Michael Jackson, with that great Christmas song. And that's the best song. I requested that. Justin, I think, asked Lou or whatever, but that was a great song.
I don't know if I would be bragging about Michael Jackson, but no, it's a big case. You and Garagos did a good job. Did you say now that you've also been invited to the inauguration?
Yeah, is that crazy?
Who invited you? Trump himself?
I assume that's where the invite came from, right? Because it came from Mar-a-Lago, so yeah. But the problem is I have a little trial out in L.A., so I won't be able to attend. It's exactly the
Wait
same
a second. Oh, yeah, wait a second. I know it's A$AP Rocky. He's a big star. I know it's Rihanna. She's a big star.
It's not about a big star. It's about I don't want to go to jail for being held in contempt and not showing up for the first day of a trial.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be televised.
Yeah.
So, it's not about big stars. Obviously,
it would be a funny turn if you're the guy to go to jail and Trump is actually accepting the presidency.
Right. Which would be typical, right? Exactly. He gets 4 indictments and he has nothing. And, I miss a court date. I'm in jail. Hey, by the way, Sid, let me just say this one thing because I'm so proud of you. I really am. And, we grew up as kids together. I mean, we knew each other when we were 10 years old playing, making up games for our New York Mets and everything else, like nice baseball games. But you were just awarded. I mean, this thing is crazy. The Suffolk County PBA awarded you a Lifetime Achievement Award for your unwavering support of law enforcement. So that's not insignificant. I mean, that is an amazing accomplishment, brother. And they seem to be coming in droves. So congratulations to you. Well earned. But still, it's a nice thing. It's really congratulations.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's because of people like you. I mean, we do a great show. There's no question. We cover everything. You want in the morning, you want music, you want sports, you want news. We do it all. And we've got a great cast here. Lou's great, Justin's great, Noam's great. But you guys, you bring all of the credibility to this show. When I need to discuss something important in the law, here comes Joe Tacopina. Now look, and there's also the personal stuff, like your friend Bill, who says when Sid goes down to Florida, the mayor of Aventura wants to meet him.
You saw that, yeah. Bill is the greatest. He's your biggest fan. Bill Plotkin, who's a Fairfield, guy, and he drives us around and stuff like that. And so he sent me that message. He listens to you from your first minute to your last minute every single day of the week. So,
he's a great American. God bless Bill Plotkin.
Bill's a great guy.
So I asked you last week if you got a phone call from this clown, this Luigi Mangione, who makes Italians look bad, would you represent them? And you said no. You said, look, I haven't taken on every case that's come to me, and you've given me examples, a bunch, over the last couple of years of people who wanted you to represent them, including who's the porn star that ended up with Trump, Stormy. And you said no. You said no, I wouldn't. And this guy, do you see the hero's welcome getting off the helicopter like a scene out of Silence of the Lambs, like it was Hannibal Lecter? The mayor is out there, 90,000 cops for one guy. You got 10,000 pro-Hamas people walking down the street. You got 3 cops. This guy comes off the helicopter. We had the whole damn police force.
Like they're guarding a dignitary. I mean, honest to God, it's honestly the most disgusting thing I've seen. When you look at the amount of support coming toward this murderer, he's a murderer. And he's a coward. He shot a guy from behind, by the way. Okay, has this hero worship thing going on. It sickens me beyond belief. I can't. And the people who really support him are the people from these Ivy League schools. They're his biggest stronghold of support. Ivy League educated students who you're supposed to be at a place where you challenge yourself intellectually and engage with diverse perspectives and attempt to share your ideas on critical issues with those around you. But I guess not. I guess if you don't agree with someone, you murder them, okay? And then you support it. It's the most disgusting thing I've seen.
Agreed.
I swear to God, if someone came to me and said that guy deserved to die, I think I would punch him in the face.
Yeah.
I really, really would.
No, he would. Of course.
He has a wife and 2 children, 2 teenage boys. At the eve of Christmas, we're going to be without. And it doesn't matter when, but this in particularly horrific that it happens this time of year. But these institutions that are tasked with educating our brightest minds have instead become breeding grounds for this moral equivocation, and it's disgusting. It is disgusting.
And the Democrat Party doesn't help. You've got people like Bernie Sanders, AOC, Liz Warren. Now, they always count you by saying, look, murder's a bit much. No kidding. But they're kind of like winking, almost as if they're giving this kid the benefit of the doubt when he's nothing more than a murderous, scumbag, crazy piece of garbage who should never see the light of day again. Bottom line, and these stupid women out there that are waiting, sending them letters. This guy's going to have 100,000 broads all over him when he's in prison. I don't get any of that. But anyway.
He's never going to see the light of day, and never should he see the light of day. He'll never see the light of day.
Well, now he can he can get the death penalty now because of the terrorist charge.
Correct, the federal. And you know what? He was charged up and rung up on federal charges along with his state charges, and good. And I know his defense lawyer went to court and said, I've never seen this before. Oh, well, come on. I've seen that plenty of times.
Sure.
Where the same fact pattern gets you indicted both in state and federal court. Yep. There are different elements to the crime. It's that simple. But to think that if you disagree with someone or you think this guy runs this corrupt organization like the healthcare industry, which definitely has its problems, the solution to that is why don't we kill then every CEO of every healthcare provider in this country? And by the way, while we're at it, we don't like, some of these big these big corporations, like maybe the big banks and stuff like that. Why don't we murder their CEOs too?
Exactly.
We'll do it. That's what we'll do it in this country.
No,
we don't agree with them. We don't like it. And the fact that people who supposedly have brains are thinking that's a good thing. I mean, I saw Piers Morgan rip to shreds some moron, some stupid moron who was on his show from some Ivy League school, like talking that it was.
I saw that.
The reaction was joy.
Yep, I saw
it. She took that back.
Yep.
It was celebratory. Celebratory. You piece of garbage. Someone like that deserves to get run over by a bus.
Yeah. My neighbor, my dear friend, Daniel and I love this guy. The best plumber in New York, Lenny Cayazzo, he says it was disgusting the way they treated that murderer, gave him the VIP treatment. Ridiculous. Lenny, you're right. On the way out, about 3 minutes to go. So you were on.
Just one last thing about that.
Yeah.
What was Eric Adams doing in the perp walk? Come on, please.
I
see that? I mean, what mayor's ever walked a perp walk before? First of all, he had his own perp walk like a month ago. So, the fact that he was walking a perp walk is just so pathetic.
Especially when his best friend, his confidant, his major advisor had just turned herself in for an indictment. Ingrid Lewis-Martin. He's nowhere near her courthouse, but he's hanging out with Luigi. Yeah. Please,
anyway,
please. I know. So last time you were on, I brought up the whole Jay-Z scandal, okay? And it's hilarious because, they take the clips like you do. Your office does the same thing, and I put it on Instagram, on Facebook, of you and I, the highlights, So they put on Instagram, you're defending Jay-Z. Sid, you didn't do it. It's ridiculous. You got killed on my pin. I had to be 90% Tacopina. Take your head out of your ass. He's your friend. Of course he's guilty. I'm just, including the Rufino. The overwhelming consensus is that your friend is guilty.
But based on what I'd like an intellectual discussion about that. Could someone actually do that instead of having this knee-jerk reaction? Based on what facts would he be guilty on? Has anyone heard, by the way, the recent interview of this woman? Has anyone heard it on NBC where she made claims where she said, okay, I agree that my story's changed. I don't really remember. I don't know. She claimed she called her father to pick her up from this alleged sexual assault. She claimed she rode in the car with her father for 4 hours after the alleged sexual assault. And guess what? They went and spoke to her father, and her father said, oh, I would remember that. That did not happen. Do you understand how ridiculous this allegation is? And but there's been no cross-examination yet, and it's falling apart. Just in a TV interview, it fell apart. Her main corroborating witness, her father, is saying, no, she's not right. She's made that up out of whole cloth. Are you kidding me? So for someone to say, oh, he's guilty, based on what? Based on what? Based on this lawyer from Texas who looks sleazier by the day, who has allegations coming against him left and right by former clients of theft, who has clients suing him for giving them venereal diseases. Are you kidding me? Based on a lawyer who's sending out letters that people feel they're being extorted by this guy, saying basically you had a Jay-Z party and therefore you better call us and give us money or we're going to go public. And he went on national TV and actually said, even if you didn't do anything and you were just at the party, if you didn't jump in and stop it, you're liable. I don't know what law school he went to, but that's not the case. That is not the case. So anyone who's out there saying, look, I understand there's a certain demographic to the audience, and Jay-Z doesn't necessarily fit that mold, right? But Jay-Z is listen, if you know him, not only is he a brilliant businessman, he's a good human being. Yeah. And I'll tell you that. And for anyone, if you know anything about Jay, and I don't pretend to be his closest friend, I do care about him. I like him. But I will say this to you. Anyone who knows him knows that's probably the last allegation you could ever make about Jay. And it's the most ridiculous allegation. And it won't stand. Look, the wheels are falling off already, Sid, and she hasn't even been cross-examined yet. So, this thing it's ridiculous. And anyone who thinks otherwise is doing it because they just don't like Jay, or they just don't like what he supports, or his political views, or something.
Right. Or they're racist. They think that all rappers are criminals.
Right, and that's stupid. That's stupid. Really.
Yeah, no, I know it is. Please. Well, listen, more importantly, you've been an incredible, I say this to a lot of guests today, but it's true. It may sound the same, but it's true. You're an awesome guest on this show. You're not good, you're great. Some weeks you're on twice. The legal stuff you provide, the fun stuff between you and I, Rangers, Hurricanes, all that stuff. You really can't replace it. Even Danielle says to me all the time, I love it when you and Tacopina are on together. So we love you here. We want to wish you and your beautiful family, Tish, and your 19 kids, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And 2024 was great with you, Tac, and I have a feeling 2025 will even be better. So thank you. We love you. Happy New Year, pal.
Thank you, my brother. Love you too.
That's the great Joseph Tacopina, famed defense attorney. And he's a great-looking guy, too, so that counts for something, I think, right? Don't you think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that counts. We'll take a short break. MJ's in the house. Louis' lovely significant other. We love MJ. We'll come back. We got 2 more great guests in the 9 o'clock hour, and then we'll say goodbye till next year. Final hour of 2024 for Sid and Friends in the Morning. Coming at you.
Again. Decorations are on by the fire. Everybody's singing, all the bells are ringing out, and it's Christmas all over again. Yeah, again. Long distance.
Oi! This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
How many of us have them? 77 WABC.
Look, I say this all the time. There was a big change in my on-air persona after October the 7th.
77 WABC.
I don't usually work on Sunday mornings, but I come to you this morning with a profound sense of sadness.
Sid's relationship with the One Israel Fund began, even though he didn't realize it, on October 7th.
We value life, Israelis, Americans. These animals don't care. All the things that nobody wanted to talk about, I talked about. And Judah heard all this.
And just a few weeks later, Sid said to me, Judah, do you know that I've never been to Israel?
He texted me one day. He goes, you got to come here. I said, Judah, it's expensive. I got a whole family. He said, what if we figured out a way to get somebody to sponsor the trip? I said, well, that would be unbelievable. All I can say is, wow. I don't think there's any replacement for being there.
It should be required.
Right.
You have to see it. You have to feel it. I really appreciated the connection of the people to the land and the sense of pride and nationalism and community. It really gave me a lot of hope.
It's important that folks know more about the history of Israel. And when you talk about the history of Israel, it begins and ends with Judea and Samaria. You see it firsthand. That's where it all is. We know the enemy wants Jerusalem. They don't have it. They've got a foothold on this area, which is the most biblical, the most history, and it doesn't make any sense. So if somebody's not out there every day fighting for Judea and Samaria, then what? One Israel Fund does that. To me, the most important organization for Israel and the best in the world today. So it's been a great 3 days. Scott Feldman, One Israel Fund. I can't thank you enough. This is what they call the car graveyard here down by Gaza. All these cars have people inside of them. God rest all their souls. Am Yisrael. We're in a fight for survival. Thank God President Trump won. Now we got to save Israel. And I'm telling you, until you go there and really see it, you'll never be the proud, passionate Jew you think you are today. Let's put the cards right on the table. Way too high a percentage of American Jews don't think Israel represents them. You get just as many people in Times Square as you do in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv. How is that possible?
His passion used to be football, baseball, some other things. To see him have this connection and this drive, it makes me happy because honestly, this business that he's in, it can be very shallow. What he's doing is meaningful. It's priceless. It's more important. It's life, like literally.
My father, who was my second best friend, he died about 4 years ago. I think he instilled the importance of, doesn't matter how tough you're on the outside, real men are tougher on the inside. If you can't find your heart in Israel, good luck finding your heart anyplace else.
Met my old lover in the grocery store. The snow was falling Christmas Eve. I stole behind her in the frozen foods, and I touched her on the sleeve. She Then her eyes flew open wide. She went to hug me and she spilled her purse, and we laughed until we cried.
The great Dan Fogelberg, Auld Lang Syne, and play a couple of New Year's songs on the way out because this is our very last show of 2024. That audio you heard moments ago was a video of me and my beautiful wife Danielle and others that they showed last night at this amazing One Israel Fund Gala. They showed that video. They gave us this award. It's a glass menorah, weighs about 100 pounds. It's gorgeous. And they invited me and Danielle and Ava and Gabriel and Max up on stage. Justin was up on stage with us as well. Scott Feltman, Yehuda Honickmen, all the fine folks, even Mark from One Israel Fund. It was just a very, very special night. I don't know, how many galas and events have I done in the last 18 months?
You can't count them on one hand,
No,
that's for sure. You need two.
I think I've got 42 plaques or something like that.
Yeah, that plaque last night was large.
That wasn't even a plaque. That was an award.
What was it?
It was a big menorah. It was a huge glass, like crystal menorah. It was gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Like 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got a nice plaque from the Suffolk County PBA on Tuesday. Say it again, folks. 3 things. There are 4 things I will fight for until the day I die. Number 1, my family. That's number 1. But in terms of stuff that's a little less important, Trump, Israel, and the brave men and women in blue. I'll die fighting for those. Talking about dying fighting for those, unfortunately, my next guest has suffered that. Her husband was murdered. He was a cop back in 2016. She's coming back for the second time. She's doing great stuff. Her boyfriend, Mike, is a great guy. She's got Louie here today. We'll talk to Lisa coming up momentarily, Tuozzolo, and then we'll talk to Hadassa Goldberg. More of the last show, Sid and Friends in the Morning of 2024, right after this.
And we drank it in her car. We drank our toast to innocence. We drank our toast to now. And tried to reach beyond the emptiness, but neither one knew how. She said she married her an architect, kept her warm and safe and dry. She wouldn't like to say she loved the man, but she didn't like to lie. I said the years had been a friend to her, that her eyes were still as blue. In those eyes I wasn't sure if I sought out her gratitude. She said she saw me in the record store.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
Entertaining and informative.
Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC. And now, Sid and Friends in the Morning present Joe Pesci.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho.
Reading the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas list.
Where are we going next? Okay, Joe Nolan is next. Jesus, is he still working? Oh, my God. Last time I heard him, Bobby Vinton was still on the charts. All right, okay, let's get Joe a Rutgers championship, and he can celebrate while laying on his freaking boat. Yeah, don't worry, Joe. We got people in Jersey. It's all taken care of. It's the ridiculous Lou Rufino. Yeah, Sid got him a 6-pack and potatoes. Yeah, 7-course Irish meal. You know what that is. Good luck, you jerky Mick. Yeah, go play some Carpenters or go play with yourself. Got it. All right, next, Noam Layden is next. What the hell? Who got on this list? Maybe it is Christmas in 5 towns. All right, let's see. He's still stupid enough to be following the Giants, so let's make them better next year. Okay, great. Maury, you got any of those wigs left, or the ones that stay on your freaking head? Yeah, I guess save one for Noam. Yeah, Mary. Give a good one to him. Yeah, Christ, even the Jews are getting stuff on this list. Yeah, hey, Frankie, make that coffee to go. Get the car, right? Okay, great. We'll be back in a little bit. Shut up and keep your mouth shut. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho.
This has been Joe Pesci
Reading the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas list.
77 WABC.
It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we let in light and we banish shade. And in our world of plenty, we can spread a smile of joy. Throw your arms around the world at Christmas time.
One of my favorite Christmas songs. Again, don't forget, folks, Christmas just 5 days away. This is the last Sid and Friends in the Morning show. Until next year, we leave today. We're back January 2nd of 2025. We need a break. But we're going to close it out strong. The last 2 weeks, this young lady will now be on twice. She was on last week with her boyfriend. He's a great guy, Mike. I love him. And she'll be on with somebody else today. Her name, of course, is Lisa Tuozzolo. You know who she is. Her husband was unfortunate. I hate bringing this up. I really do. But he was murdered. He was a cop, a great guy, and he was murdered back in 2016. In the same spirit as Jonathan Diller and Stephanie Diller most recently, Lisa has decided to, instead of staying home under the covers and crying every day, which she could have done, she's got two great young boys, they're hockey players. She's now involved in like 90 charities, like 90. She's in Tunnel to Towers. She's in Promise of Hope. She's in this one here with the police department. And she's doing some terrific things. I got a big award on Tuesday night. You weren't there. Mike was there, but you weren't there. You were in Disney World.
Correct.
But it's good to see you again. How are you?
Thank you, Sid. Thanks for having
and
us.
And Louis, you were there Tuesday night.
Of course I was there.
Louis
yes.
Tutone. Now, Louis, what? Give me quickly the Suffolk County Police Foundation. What is your title? And what exactly do you, Lisa, and I guess, Mike, what do you guys do with this exactly?
So I am the chairman of the Suffolk County Police Foundation. What we do, we try to assist the police department. You know, unfortunately, with the state and the federal government, there's so many mandated programs that the county has to pay into. So they're sometimes limited to other funding or funds that they could expend on the police department. So,
what are you talking about? Weaponry, vests. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
exactly?
Training, facilities. We are the 10th or 11th largest police department in the country, and our shooting range is just not what it should be.
Really?
So our long-term goal is to build an indoor range, redo our outdoor range, and build a new training village also, so that we could hopefully expedite with some generous donations in the next 3 or 4 years.
I think that sounds like something you could possibly definitely do. Hi, Hadassa. So you get involved in this. I mean, it's not a stretch, something good for the cops, being your ex-husband was a cop. Not ex-husband, husband, I guess we should say that, right? Yeah. He'll always be a husband no matter what. See, she got upset. I can tell you. Don't say that. But you being involved with the cops, that's not a stretch.
No, not at all. You know, for me, it is my opportunity and way to give back. And to be able to pay it forward also. It's an important lesson that, you know, I've spoken about before, that we're teaching the kids that so many people were there for us, and now it's our turn to give back to the police departments, give back to the communities that we live in, and what better way than to support our local agencies. And I have to say, it's not just Suffolk County Police Department, but it's all of our local agencies covering the entire county.
Like what? What other ones? What other agencies?
I mean, anything from East Hampton to Riverhead to
District Attorney's Office,
Sheriff's Office,
right? Northport,
all of it.
Yeah, in 1960, when the Suffolk County Police Department was formed, some of the towns and villages decided not to become part of the county or fall into the police district. So from Riverhead East is all smaller villages and towns.
Gotcha. So does Ray Tierney help you out with this? He is the DA.
He comes to all of our functions. He's a great advocate for the Police Foundation. He knows the importance of it and the great things that we could accomplish.
So tell me this. You're friends with Stephanie, very close with Diller. Her husband worked Nassau County, you're Suffolk. Does Suffolk County, do they compare favorably with Nassau County when it comes to some of the training facilities, shooting ranges, the police in Suffolk County, or does Nassau County have a serious edge? They're all working together. You tell me.
Well, I think that both the New York City and Nassau County are both areas that have a strong police foundation. They've been established. They've been around for a very long time. They help with communities. They help with trainings. They help with just events in general. They support in every aspect of the job and of the communities in the city, of course. And Suffolk never had that. And it was so vitally important that we ensure that the county that we live in and that so many live in are taken care of in an appropriate way. But we, at this point, have a lot of work to do to match the effort and what is out there for Nassau and, of course, New York City.
And why is that? Again, this is all out of ignorance. I'm sorry, because I live in Queens. I'm a Brooklyn boy. I don't know much about the island. I'm invited out there quite a bit. I'm very friendly, as you know, with the big guys in Nassau. Those are my guys. So it's nice to be with Lou Savelli and all those guys on Tuesday night. In terms of population, isn't it pretty much the same, or is it not?
It is, but we're spread out on a much wider, right? So we go from Nassau Line to Montauk. So there's 1.5 million people in Suffolk County, but it's just spread out a lot more than the city. Or
How many people are in
Nassau
Nassau County?
I think slightly less, but just much more compact.
Okay, so, for example, Bruce Blakeman is a very good friend of mine, very good. He's a Nassau County executive. He's going to be governor one day, or president. Trust me, he's that good. Eddie Romaine, I didn't see him Tuesday. He's an injury or something. I saw his guy, Kevin. But Eddie, is he a guy that's helping you guys out with this stuff?
Yes, we are very lucky. We had our first fundraiser in July, and from top to bottom throughout the county, we had Ed Romaine there, Sheriff Toulon, District Attorney Tierney, our legislators, chiefs from the East End. So we were very fortunate to have them. And our police brass also. We have Acting Police Commissioner Rob Waring, our Deputy Commissioner Kevin Catalina, who was in the city and really knows the importance of what the foundation could accomplish. So he's been a tremendous supporter
so
for us.
So the guy
also.
running your police commissioner now is a guy that stepped in for Rodney Harrison, right?
Correct.
So is he keeping this job, or is he just interim? We don't know yet. We don't know.
It's the politics of it all.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. So give me an example, Lisa, of some of these events that you and Louis do to raise money. How often are they? Where are they? How can people donate? What's the best way to do this?
So one of the best ways to donate is to go to our website, which is SuffolkCountyPoliceFoundation.org. You can also go on any of our social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. We do have a soiree coming up. It's our annual fundraiser event.
A soiree?
Yes.
Such a great word.
It is
such a good
fantastic. It's a great event. It's a lot of fun, great auction items, great place to meet people, to network, to really bring in funds and to really see what the department is doing and how they are all growing and how we can assist them in that growth. One of the things that we've done previously or over the past year is we've been able to bring in true narc detectors into each of our precincts, which is a small device that allows you to hover over. It's the size of a little bit larger than a phone, and it will hover over a substance. And after just a few minutes, you're able to identify what that substance is. Wow. It could be anything from sweet and low to cocaine to fentanyl.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that is so necessary for our departments because that is helping the officers identify the substance before they become in contact with them.
Of course.
And it's a safety issue. It's preventing them from...
I saw an officer last year, not even in New York, open the trunk of a car and died.
Yes.
Just because she was a good 15 feet away from the fentanyl.
Just from the exposure to it.
Why wouldn't every police department have those? How much are those?
They're $30,000 each.
That's not a lot.
Right. No, it's not.
If you told me it was 300,000, 3 million, 30,000 apiece, every police department should have that.
Well, again,
you guys are going to spend 30,000 on dinner in the city tonight. Let's
County
be honest.
Executive Romaine has committed to some. He is going to be a great partner for the police department and for the foundation. Again, he's fairly new there, so he's just trying to get his feet
wet, right? So you got those. Those are great pieces of those are great. You want to improve the shooting range, the training facilities. Give me one or two other things that really need an upgrade in Suffolk County because people want to help the cops.
Well, one of the other things that we're doing also, and not necessarily upgrades, but we're also helping fund our police explorers. Right now with this anti-police sentiment that is hopefully getting a little bit better, especially after our new president takes office, we're having a hard time recruiting. So when I took the test 30-something years ago, we had 50,000 people applying for the Suffolk County.
You're a former cop yourself.
I just retired in January from the Suffolk County Police Department. Okay. I did 32 years there, and I was the last 12. I was the first vice president of the PBA.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
See, they're both strapping guys. Mikey Vandenberg and Louis Tutone. They look like they're both cops, strapping guys. I like that. Go ahead.
So we're having a hard time recruiting police officers to take the test. So the Explorers right now is very important because they reach out to a lot of different communities, our lower income communities, and they bring these youngsters into the police family.
Sure.
And because, policing is a family business. Your uncle, your father, your mother, they were all cops, and that's why you want to be a cop. And sometimes in these communities, we don't have that. So this Explorer program is really helping with that. So we have a number of scholarships that we fund for the Explorers. We help them with equipment. We just did the National Night Out with our Explorers in the 3rd Precinct at Roberto Clemente Park. We supplied cotton candy and ice cream and different things like that.
Nice.
So, yeah, we're doing a lot of different initiatives.
That's
just
awesome.
Community also. It's about our police officers, but it's also about our community. We want to make sure that they're included and they feel safe with the police officers. And, it just makes for a safer community.
All right. So on the way out here, before we wrap up, because we're down to the last literally 14 minutes of the year, we're done until January. We're going to go see Trump. Tell me what else you want these people to know, Lisa, about the foundation. You do stuff with Tunnel to Towers. You do stuff with Michael for Promise of Hope. You do stuff with the Suffolk County Police Foundation, and you got 2 kids. You're very busy. What do you want people to know about this specific foundation? How can people help you the quickest?
I think, for the average person, just remember that every department is important to the safety of our communities. And we need to support our law enforcement. We need to have their backs. We need to make sure that they have the necessary skills and training and equipment and facilities to be able to do their job most effectively and most productively. And so the best way to do that is to donate us, whether it's $5 or $10, or maybe you want to donate $10,000 or $100,000. We, are always open and looking for executive board members to join the foundation, those that can really bring something to the foundation and make a difference for our communities. And remember, it doesn't matter whether you live in the city or you live out in Montauk, or maybe you just have a summer house out east in the county. We're still supporting you. We're still covering you. And so we'd love for those listeners to be a part of us.
So let's do this. Final words from you, Lou?
If you wouldn't mind, can I just run down some of my donors, my board members, because it's very important that, we're fairly new and they came on board early on. We have New York Cancer and Blood Specialists, MDASR LLP, Milburn Flooring, Renew Contracting, Maloney Family Funeral Homes, Fellow Health Partners, Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, Boulevard Restoration, Blue Line Wealth Management, Loss Prevention and Communication Systems, Parkey's Construction, the John C. Dunphy Private Foundation, and Eric Altman. Their participation has just been so important to us.
That's awesome. So here's what we'll do. We'll wrap this up, and want to wish all 3 of you, Lisa, Michael, and Louie, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll put together a big event coming up next year, 2025. I'll get involved. We'll get the Suffolk County Police involved. We'll get Promise of Hope involved. I've got my own charity. We'll do a whole bunch of stuff together and make sure that all these initiatives, and they're all terrific, both of these are great, Lisa, that you guys are trying to accomplish, we will make it work together. We will make Suffolk County. It's already great.
It's already great.
We'll make it greater.
Best police department in the country.
Is that right?
It is. It certainly is.
Right.
Yeah, one of the safest locations in the country.
Oh, that's true. It is. Absolutely.
It is. Yes.
Good to see all you guys.
Yeah,
and
I
look forward to seeing you all in 2025.
Thank you, Sid.
Thank you for your
very
support,
much.
Sid. It means a lot.
You
Thank
got it. Lisa, Louie, and Michael will take a short break. Hadassa Goldberg was honored last night. She needs a food truck. She needs money, too. She wants a food truck for the IDF soldiers literally coming off the battlefield in Israel. We'll talk to Hadassa, who's, she's a dancer. She was at Nova. We will dance again. She goes to all these cities and dances. That's what this kid does. We'll take a short break with all Hadassa coming up next.
Sid and Friends in the Morning. 77 WABC. And now, Sid and Friends in the Morning present Joe Pesci.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho.
Reading the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas list.
Who's the last guy? Oh, of course. Let's go. Sid Rosenberg, the king of the Jews, our fearless leader. Oh, my God. What do you get the man who knows he's great but doesn't let you forget it? A lifetime supply of tanning lotion. Hey, Maury, save one of those another wigs for Sydney. Yeah, let's get that. And a big mirror that follows him around, telling him how smart and funny he is. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most famous of them all? Yeah, right. Says who? Are you kidding me? Hey, Henry, what is so funny about him? Yeah, hey, Frankie, make that coffee to go. Get the car, right? Okay, great. We'll be back in a little bit. Shut up and keep your mouth shut. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho.
This has been Joe Pesci
reading the Sid and Friends in the Morning Christmas list.
77 WABC.
So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over.
You know what this is, Hadassa? Who is it?
Oh, this is Christmas music. I only listen to Israeli music.
About Christmas music, he's probably the most famous member of the Beatles.
John Lennon?
What's that?
John Lennon?
Don't whisper, you're on radio.
John Lennon?
Yes!
Yes! I knew it! For me to test like that.
Some people say Paul McCartney when you're at Lennon.
No.
How are you, Hadassa Goldberg?
I'm all right. How are you? We had a great night last night, didn't we?
It was a great night, and you were honored, and deservedly so. You were so happy. You and Mike Rappaport did a whole video together. So tell the folks exactly what you were honored for last night.
All right. So I'm Hadassa, the real Hadassa from Instagram. I live in the south of Israel, and I've been taking care of soldiers as like a hobby for years because it's just the best thing to do. We love our IDF soldiers, and we love saying thank you to them. And I just show up with like Shabbat food on a Friday, and they're like, "What, you care about us?" And we're like, "Yes, we really do." And that's what I've been doing. And on October 7th, obviously, that kind of got like out of control, and we were able to do a huge amount of taking care of soldiers and also their wives. And now that it's been a year of war, I want to get a food truck.
Oh, we need a food truck.
We need a food truck.
So the last time you were on, you're looking for money for a food truck. So long story short, Michael Vandenberg, who happens to be Lisa's boyfriend, he's walking out. This guy, let me tell you what this guy does. He paid for funerals for children who were killed by drunk drivers, gunshots out of his own pocket.
Wow.
And they started a charity. It's called Promise of Hope. But he started by paying out of his own pocket. So you're walking in, he's walking out, he goes, food truck, I want to give you $5,000.
That's right.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It's amazing because at the end of the day, like we all want to take care of each other and love each other. And a food truck is such an awesome way because soldiers, they're in the middle of nowhere. You can't just show up with like catered food. You gotta show up where they are, which is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Make the food for them so it's hot and fresh. And to be able to show up for them on that level, we're calling it Otoda. It's on cause match. Otodah. It's like a play on thank you, thank you car in Hebrew.
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. We're getting very close now that we got that $5,000 donation. We're hitting the 50%.
And so,
we're getting there.
We're getting there. So we'll get it. You're wearing a shirt that says "We Will Dance Again" because in the spirit of Nova, where all these young, beautiful people like you were murdered, you guys continue to dance. Last time you were here in New York with me, you had dance parties. You left for Miami. I think you left for Chicago.
Yeah, we have
one
in LA soon. I feel that the angels of Nova all died dancing, and I think that's what they love doing. And even though Hamas took them all away from us, we can't let Hamas switch the music off. And these angels love dancing. So whenever I hear music, I literally ask permission from them. Like, is it okay that I put my sadness aside and dance with you right now?
Look at you.
And they're always like, yeah, sure, come dance, babe. And I just do. And I dance with them.
You start dancing. You're great.
And I don't need people to dance with me because my angels are always with me. It sounds like heebie-jeebie, but it works.
No, it works. No, you got it. We
got to dance again. We have to. And you have to do it with all the pain, but we have to dance. We can't let Hamas switch the music off.
You don't have to wait to dance again. You are dancing.
We started.
You've got a beautiful spirit about you. You do. You care about people. You're not making money doing this. Your husband is a soldier as it is, so you barely see him. You're raising your children basically by yourself since he's gone back to war. You're trying to put together this food truck deal. You're making food for the soldiers. You're dancing all over the country. You got to wake up in the morning and feel very, very proud about this person that you are. You're an amazing person. You know that?
That's a very nice thing to say.
No, I'm being serious. You're an amazing person.
You know what? People think I'm incredible for doing good, but they don't understand that once you start doing good, it gives you so much more than you can ever imagine. And once you've done something meaningful and once you've showed up for soldiers in a hospital, what am I going to do? What else am I going to do with my life?
I hear you.
Know?
Even my daughter loves you. My daughter Ava was like, I know who you are, real Hadassa.
She follows me on Instagram?
She does follow you. She was all impressed last night because she follows all you girls. You, Ellie was there last night, Lizzie Savetsky, all these girls. And I know you all. And she goes, Daddy, you know all my friends on Instagram.
It's incredible how much this platform has enabled us to speak up as Jewish women. It's amazing. Yeah. I don't know where we would have been without it, this war. Like, it's brought us together. It's brought all of the different planets of all the different Jews all over the world. And some of the people that aren't Jewish. Like, you know,
look at Mike Huckabee last night. How great was that speech?
Oh my goodness. He was incredible.
Wasn't he great?
I'm so excited to have him in Israel. We'll take care of him.
Great. Yeah.
He's amazing. He's amazing. Great. And we're connected. Israel and America are more connected than they've ever been. We understand how important our relationship and friendship is, and
that's because Trump is back.
Mm-hmm.
What is this big party coming up on Sunday night? This big event?
It's not going to be big. It's actually going to be really special and intimate. No,
nice.
A lot of people are coming, but I don't want it to feel like it's too big. I want to meet everyone who comes. But Sunday night we're meeting at the Israel Chesed Center, which I'm not going to say the address online.
Why? Because somebody will come and kill you.
Don't give him any ideas, Sid. Come on. You're listening.
I wasn't allowed to tell anybody the address of last night's event for people that were even coming.
Yeah, of course. Yes, no, we're used to it. Welcome to being a Jew in 2024. We can't tell you where we're going to be for our safety, but really it's fine.
I know.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Fine. You're supposed to feel safe. I can't tell you where it's going to be.
It's going to be we're just doing a get together. My brother-in-law's a mentalist, and it's just going to be a bunch of Jews drinking some fun beers and hanging out and talking about Israel. And we're hoping I want to leave with a food truck. I want to come back being like, Sid, when you coming on my food truck, not when you helping me get it. You know?
Got it. We have to run here on the way out. Tell people how they can follow you because you're great.
I'm the real Hadassa on Instagram.
Is there a fake Hadassa?
You want to know the funny story, but we don't have a lot of time.
I don't have time.
My sister-in-law is also named Hadassa Goldberg. My page was the other Hadassa.
Yeah.
My page was the other Hadassa, and then she made a comment about how she was the real one, and I switched my Instagram account name because I'm very competitive. And now everybody thinks I'm like authentic and real. No, I just have an issue with the fact that my sister-in-law is also Hadassa Goldberg, and she got there before me.
I love it. Well, you are the real Hadassa, and you're fantastic. It's great to see you. Congratulations again on last night.
Sid, when are you coming back to Israel?
April.
Good.
Independence Day, April 30th.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Me too. Hey, we're all done, folks. We love all of you. Want to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. A Happy Hanukkah comes out the same day, Christmas and Hanukkah. And, of course, the healthiest and happiest of New Year's. I'm a little sad doing this. I need a vacation. I'm exhausted. I'm a little sad, though.
You're going to be okay.
I'll be okay?
Yeah, you're going to be fine.
I'm going to miss talking to all my people out there on Monday morning, but I won't be here. Neither will the rest of this crew. So, for my amazing crew, who I love like my own family, Lou Rapino, MJU2, Justin Ellick, Noam Layden, Jim Flippin, all of us on Sid and Friends in the morning. To all of you, I can't say I'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 6. I'll talk to you January 2nd of 2025. Until then, peace!